Stood on the stage in the Davos snow, selling a story that wasn't quite so. A signature dried on a land theft bill, 34 days past the bottom of the hill. Too late for the court, too late for the plea, just a sleight of hand for the world to see. They thought they could hide it in the mountain air, but the clock was ticking and the truth was there.
Oh, oops, the ain't did it again, playing a game they're never gonna win. They're spinning the wheels while the bridge is burning, but the rest of the world, yeah, the tide is turning.
Yeah, they're doubling down on a broken trend.
Oops, the ain't did it again. And then the mantra started, a familiar sound. Trump is ill-informed, they passed it around like the biggest intel net the world has known. Doesn't see the seeds that the party's sown.
Look through the house, try to paint it all fake, but the harder they push, the more it would break. That domestic charm might play in the streets, but it falls on deaf ears when the world stage meets. Oh,
oops, the ain't did it again, playing a game they're never gonna win. They're spinning the wheels while the bridge is burning, but the rest of the world, yeah, the tide is turning.
yeah, they're doubling down on a broken trend.
Oops, the ain't did it again.
A door swung open for the tired and the few, Afrikaners, coloreds, and Indians too. But Pretoria panicked, trying to gum up the work, slow down the pace where the shadows lurked.
Denied the visas, raided the site, trying to keep the exodus out of the light. Then they went rogue, went way out of line, crossing a border they shouldn't define.
So, diplomat man, that's a red card. You're playing for keeps, but you're playing too hard. An own goal seal, a diplomatic sin. Where does the madness end and the logic begin?
Washington's watching, the hammer's gonna fall. You can't run astray and expect to stand tall. Did it again, playing a game they're never gonna win. They're spinning the wheels while the bridge is burning, but the rest of the world, yeah, the tide is turning.
Yeah, they're doubling down on a broken trend.
Oops, the ain't
Yeah, the hammer's coming.
Don't you think?
They did it again.
Straight red card.
Oops, they did it again.
Yeah.
Oops, they did it again.
Yeah, the hammer's coming.
Don't you think?
They did it again.
Straight red card.
Oops, they did it again.
Yeah. Oh, 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 yeah, they did it again.
The Wyatt Army marches on. For decades in the uniform, he held the line so tight, defending freedom everywhere from morning into night. From Europe down to Africa, the Middle East and home, the colonel hung his boots up, thought he'd rest his weary bones. He looked upon the world today, the chaos and the noise, and saw the messy circus of the digital decoys. He couldn't sit in silence, no, he couldn't look away. He waited in the battle, ready for a brand new day. They tried to shut the signal down, the shadow and the band, but you cannot stop the spirit of a mission-driven man. Folks took notice of the voice, the clarity, the spark, and gathered round the fire. He lit inside the dark, and the Wyatt Army marches on. The signal is steady, the confusion is gone. We don't need the fancies from the leftist side. We've got the colonel and the truth as our guide.
From north to south, from the Arctic to Antarctica, all points east and west in between. Welcome back to the program, folks, for Night Owl's Sound Check. Welcome back to the program. It's perfectly fine for the people that want to claim that I don't have sound. Welcome back. Good evening. It is now the 18th of December, 1 week before Christmas Day, when we celebrate the birth of the Christ child. Also happens to correspond on the calendar with my birth date anniversary. But I lead this evening's broadcast with the following letter from the Director of International Relations and Cooperation. South Africa reaffirms sovereign immigration enforcement, and U.S. on data allegations will be addressed through diplomatic channels. The recent deportation of 7 Kenyan nationals by the Department of Home Affairs was conducted in strict accordance with South African immigration law. Sure. These individuals were engaged in work without the necessary work permits. Okay. The government will not negotiate its sovereignty. No one asked you to. And the implementation of the rule of law. Separately, we have noted an unsubstantiated allegation regarding the private information of U.S. officials. South Africa treats all matters of data security with the utmost seriousness and operates under stringent legal and diplomatic protocols. We categorically reject any suggestion of state involvement in such actions. Then please explain how they got a hold of that passport at that center if it wasn't state involvement. Did you not have control of the scene? Did you raid the refugee site and allow looky-loos to wander around and just collect documents and demand them of U.S. diplomats? How did this happen? Nonetheless, we remain committed to principled and transparent diplomacy. Official channels have been opened with the United States government to seek clarity on this allegation and reinforce that our bilateral engagements must be grounded in mutual respect and factual dialogue. Mr. Crispin Peary, Ministry spokesman. Well, that all sounds lovely, except it's just a bunch of poppycock. It's a bunch of poppycock. First off, this individual was doxxed. The individual is a United States government employee in the executive branch of the United States government. The United States individual does work for this program and was there on official diplomatic business. He was harassed, his passport was copied, and it was shared online within minutes of this raid ending. So somebody please explain to me the coincidence. Are we all just happy coincidences happen? No, it's just not plausible. I'm sorry, Mr. Peary, that doesn't pass muster. The only other possibility is that this, by the way, that passport was used. They alluded to that passport. The people on Twitter said that this guy is a Kenyan and he went through Zimbabwe and Botswana and Mozambique to get to South Africa. Yes, he works for the U.S. government and he has served, based on information publicly available, he has served and traveled through those places on official duty and also on holiday in some cases, I believe. So, yeah, his passport went through those places. It doesn't mean he traveled them. He's also not a Kenyan national. That gentleman is an American citizen, a naturalized American citizen. He's on social media. I don't know if he's turned off his accounts yet, but when I went searching for his accounts, I found multiple accounts for him to describe his life. Absolutely. So let's just take a look at this photograph again so that we make sure that people understand what it is I'm talking about. Okay, I'm going to show you this photograph of this gentleman again because this is a bogus statement. I'm sorry, Mr. Peary, and if that was actually Crispin Peary who showed up my broadcast the other night, if it actually was, I hope you're listening because that's not going to fly. Now, you may be getting misinformed, but I'm going to tell you what, that's simply factually untrue. Also, this claim that American officials and refugees were not harassed is utter bullshit, too. I know for a fact now, ladies and gentlemen, that a black South African married to a white South African, I believe it's a black, I could be wrong, but an interracial couple was at that venue when this unfolded. An interracial couple. So to hear them talk about, Afrikaners is just ridiculous. So this is the image in question. Let me get this very quickly here. There you go. White people in South Africa want to do as they please. These U.S. reps had no work permits. Not a U.S. representative. That's an official of the U.S. government. That's an official passport. It says so right there. Bearer is abroad on an official assignment for the United States government. I've covered up the identifying information. This person was doxxed. This is a criminal act, and this occurred after the raid. So you tell me how that passport got out there. Are we being punked? Did someone steal this passport when he was on vacation in Zanzibar? What's going on here? I'm sorry. That just isn't going to fly with me. So let me just take a look at here something. Have I loaded this yet? Let me see something very quickly here. I have a new video. I need to load it now. So let me just get to that very quickly. I finished it just because that's why I was a couple minutes late. So I need to load this new video up while we're chatting here. I'll take just a moment here to get this going here. But anyway, yeah, me. Did anyone download? Yes, I've got the screenshot, X. I've got it, Veroshka. I also forwarded to U.S. authorities. Yep. I've got it. But I'm not going to show it. That's the picture there. I covered up. I had the original to cover that date up. So I'm curious why you're asking if I have it. Did anyone download? Yes, I have screenshots. It was on multiple sites. Multiple sites. That's the problem. So just a moment here, folks. Output. That's what I want. Oh, no, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for Daba. No, that's not what I want. Sorry, I'm not getting where I need to go. Now I'm in the right place. Okay, is it there? There we go. Got it. I'll upload that. Yeah, so let me get to your chat in just a moment here, folks. So it's come to my attention that this evil person who's been misleading people about the refugee program, falsely applying asylum stuff, claiming she's a friend of South Africans. I've never understood what her deal is. She has slandered me. She's an evil person. She's lucky I just ignore her for the most part. But she and apparently someone who's her daughter have been spreading all kinds of nonsense, claiming that I'm all about fame. Fame? What are you talking about, sweetheart? I've been a lot more famous than I am now. Fame is not what it's cracked up to be. These are people who have no substance, who want to attack other people. It's just really, really sad to see. Anyway, yeah, it's come to my attention. I've heard some information from these people. It's really pathetic. Just a second here. D-I-R-C-O P-H-I-R-R-I, period. Yeah, so I don't know what to tell you, folks. It's just really sad to see these people. I don't go around attacking them, but these people are not even real Americans. Not even real Americans. They don't have the respect and courtesy for people who are out here. You know, they're just nasty, nasty people. And people keep telling me about them. I'm not really interested in these losers. It's their problem, personal problem. It's their moral shortcoming, not mine. I don't go bothering them, but they want to attack me all the time. So I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, and some of you know who I'm talking about, and I don't really care to repeat their sorry, pathetic, sad little names. All right. Oh, yeah. Okay, social media's gotten way worse. The problem is that I'm accurately reporting the news. I'm accurately analyzing the news, and I've actually accurately predicted what was going to happen this past week. And that is just a bridge too far. It bothers them too much. You got a notification. Wow. Welcome, Jules. When it says subscribers only mode, and you have been a subscriber for many months already. Yeah, I don't understand what's going on there. That's always been the case. It's always been set for the 20 minutes. I don't understand why it's doing that. That's a weird thing. The YouTube's messing up. Their algorithm's messing up. It shouldn't be doing that. I have no control over it, folks. All I can do is set it back to none. And then the problem we put it at none is that trolls just come in here instantaneously and disrupt the chat and disrupt the program. So that's why we put this. That function has worked well since YouTube introduced it, 2 years ago, but now it's suddenly acting up. Gail, welcome to you. James Warren. Several people told me they can't chat. Arctic is here. Pikachu. Willem, what's going on? Werner van der Merwe, Lee, Mother's Love. Yeah, something is up with YouTube. A lot of things are up with YouTube. By the way, folks, I want to thank all of my viewers, and not even the evil, nasty people who are looking, have no life. I want to thank them all, and I'll tell you why in just a moment here. And I'll put it on the screen. This is why I want to thank them all, because let me see if I can find it. There it is. There it is. Okay, because this happened yesterday. It's a little bit ahead of this now. It's actually 36 million, but thank you. This channel has over 35 million views now. Congratulations to my viewers for their participation and for helping me get to that achievement. 35 million for a news channel, an independent journalist. That is an incredibly large number. I'm in the top 1% of YouTube content creators, owed entirely to the viewers who watch this program. And I'm very humbled by that, and I thank you very much. It's very kind of you to support the channel and help us get to that figure. We're now pushing 36 million already just a day and a half later. A couple days later. That date is trailing. It's actually from about the 15th or 14th. So we're actually about 36 million now. Yeah, thank you all for that. That's super kind, and I really appreciate it. Bear in mind that my original channel in 9 months had, just under a year, had 2.5 million views, and then the new channel took 4.5 years to get to 3 million views. But in less than a year, we've gone to 35 million. So thank you for that. I'm incredibly grateful. Thank you so much for that. Philip Holtz, what's up? Phoenix, Vesperlin, Mental Chewing Gum, Hendo's here. Hendo, Erica, Arctic, Wills and so many others have played such a big role in helping that happen with the work they do as moderators, unpaid, often unthanked, and often abused. You know, early days, my moderators were abused by a lot of people. I had to protect them. These days, the moderators really just take care of that themselves, and they don't put up with abuse. Firefox 40, hello to you. Alex in Ohio, what's going on? Sumarie, Mandy van Rooyen. What else we got here? Marius Bice, welcome to you. Stefan Gravenstein, Louis Boysens, Devin Basson, Pikachu, Kara Framak, welcome. CB's back, and CB is an OG from the very beginning. I'll tell you what, you talk about supporters of this channel, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to make CB blush right now, and CB is very pale skinned, so CB will blush very easily. CB is a rock star, an incredible human being who helps kids, who helps people in need, who goes out of her way to give of herself to others, and has been an incredible support of this team. And I owe it entirely to her for several of my rugby jerseys, my rugby collection that she has gotten and arranged to make possible. Also got me a tour of Grey College, which is an incredible rugby tour. I'm grateful for that. And just an incredible person. And if I'm embarrassing you, turning red, please turn red. So I got my set notification. Wow, notifications tonight. What's going on? And notice how we're up to 274 just 20 minutes in the program. Apparently some notifications must have gone out. Trump just said justice is coming for Osama bin Laden. Well, I hope so. That's good. And Rainier van Rensborg, welcome. Sarita's here. Who else have I missed? Melissa, welcome to you. Good morning to you. And then Road Captain Kev is here. Sandra Voss, welcome to you. Zero Hate South Africa. Oh, that's a cool name. Zero Hate South Africa. Thank you for being here. Utopi, been around for a while as well. Delmarie Mostart, Daff of Will, Xavier Grayling, Lynette Orr, hello. Celeste Brumer, and Sandra, I forget Sandra. Dougie Ray's back. Hey, Dougie, I don't think I've seen you in a while. Christopher Arda. George Steinberg is in from Heckport. Good to see you there, George. How are you doing? Always a pleasure when there. George has been a regular attendee at our Thundergun meet and greets. What a star. Even when we had just 6 people there, he was there. Yeah, good dude, good dude. Goes out of his way to make the trip. I'm grateful for that. Yes, Crispin Perry wrote the letter. That's the one I read earlier. We had snow, said Willem. Okay. Yeah, pretty cool. We've had snow twice already, which is unusual the past few winters. We haven't had that much snow. So maybe we'll have a bigger year this year with snow. Wet wipes are next to the front door. Hello, Kara. What's going on? How are you? Well, I'm okay. How are you? Did you start the new job? Have you been bumped up already? And if so, did you get paid more? I'm curious, because there's no super chats coming. Got to have an ulterior objective. You can't just ask a question innocently, right? You got to have an ulterior motive there. Yeah. Anyway, so Jules, what's going on? Peter Talliard. Who else we got there? Charles Van Olsen, the voice of reason, is back. Tic Tacs. Okay. Devin Haverkamp. Welcome, Devin. And who else we got there? Okay. Are they really going to keep us this denial of the leak and keep up this denial of the leak and narrative that this raid was about Kenyans and not about intimidation? Is America really going to fall for it? No, I don't think they're going to fall for it. Madeline Swart, what's going on? Louis Boysons, I heard they seized the fingerprint machines also. I have not confirmed that. I know they tried to, but I haven't confirmed whether they got it. Bottom line, there was never a need for a raid. A phone call would have worked as well, obviously done intentionally. Exactly. So they can smoke screen, and their media houses, their government bought and paid for, leftist outfits that don't even do real journalism, like News 24, can say what they want. But the reality is here that this could have been resolved with a phone call. That's right, Phoenix. The 30%ers claim he's from Kenya. And see, the government is being advised by people that are that dumb. So they're making dumb decisions, making dumb statements. It's an American, a naturalized American born in West Africa with an African accent, most likely. I haven't heard him speak, but most likely an African accent and a Francophone accent at that. So they want to sit there and pretend that this is a Kenyan with a U.S. passport. So I know what they're going to say next. Well, it's like Jason Bourne. He's not really an American. They just issued him a passport because he's a Kenyan to get him in. He's an American. He's an American. He served in the U.S. Army. I have photographs of him in fatigues. Real fatigues, not play toy soldiers like Mkoto Isizwe, real soldiers. Oh my goodness. Exactly, Dirk. There was never need for this. Wyatt song and badge. Pity there's not a blonde male and female in the badge. Okay, calm down, Del Murray. The person who made that, please update that. Put some bigger, bosoms on one of a blonde with blue eyes, bigger bosoms to make the crowd happy, and make one of the dudes look white, because none of the dudes look white. Okay, somebody do that for me. That's got the original. The person that sent me that image, please do that. I don't think you can because it was done on Gemini, I think. Or take the same information, you put it in Gemini, and make an adjustment. Did anyone download? Yes, I've got Varoshka. I've got that. How you doing, Varoshka? Modified intel, what's going on? And if they were here illegally, who let them in? They're not here illegally. See, that's the lie too, Arctic. They were not in the country illegally. They entered South Africa legally on tourist passports with a tourist visa for 90 days. And they admit that. They say they entered illegally, but then in the next sentence, they say that they entered, on a tourist passport. Well, then they entered legally. You let them in. They were here legally, just did not have visa to work. Correct, Willem, that's correct. It was not obtained illegally. Why did the person delete the post next? Exactly, Ronell. Why? I know social media hate. Oh, yeah, the comments on my video are just off the chart, disgusting and vile. It just shows you how many racists are out there and how many nasty, ignorant people there are. And like the idiots who are, okay, so I don't really want to go much time into it, but the person who attacked me earlier this year, who was factually wrong and got put in their place by Professor G and others, and then still demonically goes after it. That person's daughter says, I only listen to people who tell us the truth like Professor G. Ronaldo and the Colonel are just attention seekers. Are you serious? How many times do I have to lead the news cycle accurately and preemptively disrupting news cycle? I'm a disruptor, folks. That's it. I've become a disruptor. I'm a disruptor. It's like Knives Out. I'm one of the disruptors. I'm disrupting the news cycle over and over again. I didn't ask for that task, but these people just are small-minded and they want to attack me. So whatever. Professor G does a great job, but many of his videos are based off of mine. Not all, but many of them. And that's not a criticism. He just adds to what I've said and confirms. And I think he's ever once in only one of his videos ever said he disagreed with something I said. It was a difference of opinion. But these people are just sad, pathetic haters. To what extent do you think America will retaliate once South Africa make it clear they aren't going to do anything? Well, that's a good question, Love Hate. South Africa is not a high priority, but this was a very serious breach of diplomatic protocol and of law. A violation, there's no mention about how it violates the Poppy Act. You notice that? No one mentions how this violates the Poppy Act. The Poppy Act applies to anyone in South Africa, not just South African nationals. You can't expose the privately identified information of people visiting South Africa. You can't do that. It's illegal. So this is a violation. So, instead of saying alleged, they should say that we're looking into it. But they don't want to do that. They're playing checkers, and Trump is playing three-dimensional chess. I said that earlier this year, and other people glommed onto that. But that is what is going on here, folks. They are playing checkers when Trump is playing three-dimensional chess. They are so far behind in the count that they don't know it. This is like 78 minutes into a rugby match, and you're trailing 63-0, and you think you're going to win the game. You think you're going to win the game. It's not going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Not going to happen. All right, I've just published that video, by the way. So I need to get that out. So I'll put it for the mods right now rather than everyone else. I'll let the mods spread it around. So it's in the mods. There it is. That video is up now, so you can get some views on it. The one I just published. South Africa strikes back after U.S. threats. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, right. A lot of you are not getting my notifications videos, and I understand that. I appreciate that. What I would ask you do, if you want to stay current with the content, is make sure you have the channel marked, or you always go into search with the little magnifying glass and put at Colonel Chris Wyatt. So take the channel and watch my videos. Cycle through the videos. Go to the list of videos. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that, Jack. Appreciate the 140 Rand super chat. Clouds are gathering. That's the only way you'll get there. I've talked to somebody whom I know personally who told me tonight here in the States that they didn't realize that I'd done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different videos in the past 2 days. They didn't get a notification for any of those 9 videos. And I said, when do you know me in this past year to take a break of not producing at least 1 video per day? So you've got to check it, okay? Will this incident have a negative effect on the refugee program? No, Celeste Brummer. I think it will accelerate the refugee program. I think it will. It's a net positive. Now you don't have to prove that you're being persecuted. The South African government has proven political persecution with this raid. That's all you have to do. All you have to say is that, I'm absolutely terrified. I was afraid to come here and give this interview. I'm afraid they'll take my license plate down and they'll follow me home. I'll be arrested. I haven't committed a crime. But this is what the government's doing. So it actually makes it better. if you're a refugee for South Africa, I think this just made it perfectly clear. And I think Professor G also implied that it would help asylum seekers. And I think he's right, if that's what he said. I think it will help asylum seeker cases. I'm not recommending you try an asylum case. It's very low odds, but I think it will help an asylum case. If you're undergoing an asylum case and you're currently in the States right now, like a lot of H-2A folks foolishly decide to do, if you're doing that, this is an argument you can make. Look at this. It's not even safe to go talk to an unlawful act in South Africa. The government harasses you, docks individuals, threatens you, intimidates you, spews racial epithets. The U.S. government knows that happened. You just refer to that incident with me. That's all you have to do. I think that makes your case much stronger. There's a chance that Dogzilla's without power. There was something like 200 kilowatts without power, or 200,000 without power being. Okay, wow. It's still down. Oh, it's down to 35,000. Yeah, well, Dogzilla hasn't been here a lot lately. So the sound is not soft. You turn up your volume. My sound is up perfectly fine. I just played it. I'm not going to play with sound tonight. Turn up your volume. My sound is up perfectly fine. Hear that? I just played it. I'm not going to play with sound tonight. Turn up your volume. My sound is fine. So good when truth is rewarded. Very brave what you do and how you speak. Well, thank you, Amanda. I guess you're referring to the 35 million views. Well, it'd be even better if I was awarded with an appointment or a great task to be involved with this. Yeah, try the volume button. Yeah. Professor G credits you almost exactly, Dirk. He does. Yep. Yep. This is clear insult. Yes, Joe, Texas. That's exactly what it is. This is a clear insult to the United States. It was intended. It's also a threat and intimidation to Afrikaners and other South Africans seeking to flee. This was done on a public holiday. When do you see Home Affairs in uniform running around executing an operation? And they admitted that. They admitted it was a sting. It was a sting operation. Why do you need a sting operation? All it takes is a phone call to the U.S. Embassy. Hello, can I speak to the Charge d'Affaires? Just a second here. Yes, yes, this is Leon Schreiber from Ministry of Home Affairs. Yeah, I'm the DA guy. Listen, those Kenyans that you had come in on tourist visas, which we've rejected their work permits 3 times now, well, there's a final decision on this. They cannot work here and they need to leave the countries. Can you make them get out of here by Monday, or we're going to come for them? Okay. There you go. Problem solved. And they're out. But that's not what happened. They acted like they're super secret spies and instead rocked up at a facility and intruded and terrorized. The video that I wrote says harrowing experience. Was a harrowing experience. Ladies and gentlemen, people who were there were trembling. I talked to people who were trembling hours after the event, fearful for their lives over what happened. Their law-abiding South Africans harassed, demanded their papers as if they were illegals, zamas. Papers. And then the racial epithets and the racial slurs thrown at them as they left. And the South African government denies it. Of course they'll deny it. But the media reports that as if it's true, without News 24 even bothering to try to find out which refugee who was there that day has the South African media talked to. Anybody tell me? Has Netvec 24 talked to anybody? Daily Maverick, Rebecca Davis, have you talked to anybody? Peter Dutoy, Adrian Basson, he's kind of quiet. Have you talked to anybody? No, you haven't. Do you know why? Because you're all bullshit artists and nobody listens to you. Nobody trusts you. I've talked to them. I've talked to some that were there and are already in America now. They already made it here. Oh, I'm definitely a thorn in somebody's side. Yep. Bach and Terry, what's going on? You always get clowns out there. Yep. Poppy Act just means you get your statements with your ID number as passport. Well, it's not supposed to mean F-all. Epic, Colonel Chris, well done. Thank you, Rena. And Jacob says, first winter in Minnesota just by drinking coffee gives me brain freeze. Jacob, you're in America now? Thank you for the 140 Rand. And you haven't offered me a refugee interview? What am I missing there? I hope that you stay warm in Minnesota. Yeah, no, but Minnesota, it gets kind of cold. You know, you go out in the wintertime for sure. You know, you're hopping around. And, you know, they're going to offer you that lutefisk. That's some nasty stuff now. You know, they lose live for that. It's nasty. Nasty lutefisk. No, but Minnesota, yeah, for sure. Those people, the Norwegians. Yeah, you got some of the Germans up there. And, of course, now you got lots of these Somalis. They look kind of strange because they all look like polar bears because they're wearing all those Arctic gear because they're freezing their little tushes off. No, but Minnesotans, yeah, we're used to the cold. You know, I know that girl. She was sleeping with the little fella up there in Brainerd. Yeah, no, quite a nice place, Minnesota. Have you been to the Mall of America? Pretty nasty. That's kind of a touristy spot. Not be going there much myself. I kind of prefer to be in the Twin Cities, St. Paul, Minneapolis. Yeah, for sure. You know, that's where Mary Tyler Moore was based, in the Twin Cities, WJM. That's right. You can turn the world on with a smile. Who can take a nothing day and suddenly make it all seem worthwhile? Well, it's you, girl, and you should know it. With each step and every little movement, you show it. Love is all around, no need to. Oh, my goodness. Mary Tyler Moore. I love that show. You know, you've got spunk. Thank you, Mr. Grant. I hate spunk. Ted Baxter. Oh, my goodness. Mary Tyler Moore. What great shows. 100% unpopular. The question, what happens if you are unpopular from government? Yep. Don't pay attention to those trolls. You have so many people. Thank you, Maggie Groves. So you're not a refugee. Oh. Prestigi is really great. Sports your Colonel confirms what you said. Is his followers educating everyone and tells them the facts. Yep. Yep. No, I have no beef with Professor G. Never have. No. Anyway, so we got 366 people here at this hour. So there are, and then Francois Swart gave a 70 rand. Is my alert box? No, the alert box is on. Welcome. There are many, many intelligent blondes. Caucasians are blondes. This is a caring statement. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay, I've got like wrong with blondes. I was blonde. I was a strawberry blonde. You guys have seen that before. Let me see if I can find a picture of that. Hang on. Let's see if I got a picture of me as a strawberry blonde. Well, not there. Where's it going to be at? Oh, I'll go looking for that, man. Anyway, yeah, I was a strawberry blonde. A strawberry blonde. Raspberry beret. That's not strawberry. Photos. Let me get to photos. Photos. Hello, Moto. All right, I'm back here now. So let's go to Chris. Yeah, I'm out of storage. Bite me, you stupid thing. I don't want this. Continue without storage. Okay. Childhood. Come on, come on. Here you go. Here you go, guys. Oh, shoot. Okay, I thought I had this over there. No, I didn't, apparently. I must have moved it. All right, so this is me in first grade. So come, oh, where the heck was that at? There it is. There you go. This, by the way, is a long time ago. Alrighty, you ready for this? Get ready. There you go. See? Strawberry blonde, baby. Yes, Simmery, your interview should be a breeze now. Look at that. Look at all them freckles on my face, man. Oh, such an innocent looking fellow. Such an innocent looking fellow. Yeah, I don't think expect to get caught. Yeah, I think you're right about that. Anyway, that's me in first grade, folks. In first grade. Yep. That's a while ago. If you have nothing else to complain about, so they complain about the audio levels. Okay. Don't think they expect to get caught. So the fact that they were on a diplomatic mission meant nothing to South Africa. Correct. Every form of solidarity confirmed this raid was made and much more difficult to manage their own discussions with the U.S. Yep. We're living in a laughing South Africa is a big mess. You're right about that. Oh, we got some more stuff coming in here. Hot dish and ambrosia salad are what the Minnesotans are bringing to the potluck. Okay. Cool. I'm not refugee. H2A winter rollover. Ah, got you, Jacob. Thanks. Cool beans. Cool beans. Well, yeah. Maybe we could talk someday about farming. Laverne and Shirley. Oh, you like Laverne and Shirley? Shamil, Shemazel, Hoffensaft Incorporated. We're going to do it. Yeah, I didn't like Laverne and Shirley. Lenny and Squiggy, that show was, you know, not my cup of tea. I don't think any of the Happy Days spin-offs were all that great. Joni Loves Chachi, you know, I didn't like them. Whereas All in the Family spin-offs were pretty good. Maude, The Jeffersons rocked, you know. Yep. Yeah, definitely cold there. Louise Rayner, what's up? They don't want the refugee assistance running South Africa. They want to force South Africans to flee South Africa before they can request assistance for refugees. So scary. No, I just don't. I think they just want to intimidate you not to leave. Keone, 70 Rand super sticker. Thank you so much. Is that a cheerleader? Ooh, cool beans. Third super chat on the stream. And after that, we've got Jack Crow. Okay. Yeah, don't complain about South Africa's winners. That's a breeze. Chris, now you are executive blonde like me. Yeah, oh, yeah, executive blonde because I've gone gray. Thank you for that. It's all fun until it's -10. Well, you know, Arctic, once it gets to a certain temperature, you don't really notice a difference. You do. A small thank you, Colonel, for looking forward to the rest and finally time to focus on my process of preparing. We'll be around except maybe when I go to Kruger one last time to visit my northern family. Okay, well, be careful, Sumari. Thank you for the 200 Rand super chat there. That's a 60s faded photo brunette. Oh, please, Arctic. Dude, ease up on the schnapps, okay? You know, peppermint schnapps is not your friend. That leaves heartburn. Okay. But then before the Mary Tyler Moore show was that, oh, that girl. Yeah, that was with Marlo Thomas, that girl. She married Donahue, Phil Donahue, Marlo Thomas. Yeah, that girl was pretty good. But that wasn't Mary Tyler Moore. Never heard so much. But I didn't see the press conference. I was busy watching what happened. The guy's dead. Yeah, Brown University is a DEI disaster. The head of the security or chief police is a Colombian. What the hell are Colombians doing in Rhode Island? I mean, why aren't they in Colombia making coffee or cocaine or living in the Andes? I mean, why are they in Rhode Island? Not exactly the home of Colombians. But he's like, we need more Colombians because only Colombians can understand. Well, dude, there's like 5 Colombians there. So why do you need all these Colombians? Yeah, so that, and then the president, she's brain dead. She's a ditz. She's obviously been promoted, not because of what she can do, but because who she is. I'm talking about identity. And the whole list goes on. I listened last night. I don't watch Fox News very much, but last night when I was prepping some stuff to go out, I popped the TV on, and there was Jesse, and he was just running through the whole list of all the DEI nonsense going on up there. It's a disgrace. What a total disaster. This is why America's been falling apart at the seams. We've been picking people based on their genitalia, on their skin pigmentation, on their ethnic origin, and not on their merit. And this is what happens. We could have been family with the freckles and the red hair. Wait, there you go. A hot full biker. Leona Watley. Oh my gosh, cute. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Yep. Gotta love the Colonel. Well, thank you, Marianne Murray. It's very kind of you. Sir, we all know that was just yesterday. Still a spring chicken. Well, you know, I people haven't seen me at the Veterans Organization. I walk in there and I always walk around and greet everybody, ask them how they're doing. I try to make them feel at home, explain to them what's going on, you know, when they ask. And we sell 50-50 tickets. Tonight I sold 50-50 tickets and did a pretty good job on that. But these guys, there's a massive super chat. I'll get to that in just a moment. Wow, modified intel. Let me get to that for just a second. So I keep getting compliments all week, and this was cut almost 2 weeks ago now. Full week ago. All week, every night, I'm getting, wow, you look so much younger. I'm like, yeah, I told you. Wait till the beard's off. Picture me without a beard, man. Looking a lot younger. Anyway, so I had a strawberry blonde boyfriend. Very cool. It used to be blonde, blue-eyed until I cut my hair and grew it back brown. Wow, that's crazy. So what if I was one of the refugees there? I would wait till I'm in the USA, then spill all the beans. Oh, Arctic. Oh, get ready for it, folks. Get ready for it. There are people, not everybody has people left behind in South Africa. So there are people who are coming over who will spill the beans. So when AfriForum asked me if I was in contact with anybody, I said, yeah, lots of people who were there. I mean, a few dozen people who were there contacted me, and they told me they were okay, let me know about what happened. They were terrified. And then AfriForum said, can you put me in touch with any of them? And I asked a couple people, and they said initially yes, but then they came back and said, no, we'll talk when we get to the States. We don't trust anybody but you. So I appreciate that. Going to be hot in Durban today, okay? 10 and 30, -10 and -30 is not the same thing. Schnapps. What is this stuff? That's alien language to me. All right, so modified intel. Wow, massive super chat. That deserves a bell. That'll also send Arctic to the back of the plane. He will go sit in the cabin instead of the cockpit now. So he won't have to hear that on the radio. Thank you once again for everything you do for all the SAFAs in need. I tried to make contact to discuss how I can support the mission and perhaps support someone that required some. But I see you have too much on your plate. Merry Christmas. Modified intel. When did you contact me and did I respond? I do have a lot on my plate. And how do you want to help? I don't remember. I'm sorry. A lot of people have done this. I've had aviation companies approach me. I've had individuals approach me. I've had people trying to sponsor refugees. I've had someone that's actually doing that now, created an NGO to do it. And so I get a lot of stuff from a lot of different angles. And not to mention the endless list of people who are frustrated with the process, who are impatient, and also the genuine cases of need, and now refugees in the States where they're not getting best support. And I will say this about the cockprotter who slanders me. She is correct about one thing. There is a growing number of people, from my perspective, who are not getting the support they should be getting when they arrive in America from the refugee assistance agencies. I've been intervening where I can. I had success initially. I'm running to some brick walls now, but I'm still trying. I've talked to people who've run into trouble in Virginia, people who've run into trouble in California, people who've run into trouble in Oregon, and I'm trying to help them. Most of the cases, as that cockprotter said, seem to be happening on the East and West Coast, but not in the States in between. So that's just anecdotal. But I mean, I'm dealing with at least 10 or 12 cases of people who feel that they're not getting the help that they should get. They're not complaining. They're not whining. But, I mean, most of them have legitimate complaints. So I apologize, Modified Intel, that, I mean, I've seen you in the chat, but I'm trying to remember the conversation. We can see where you can help out. Yeah, thank you for the super chat. That's awesome. Thank you very much for that. You definitely got my attention with that super chat. Wow. Can we give it up for Modified Intel? That's the biggest super chat this week, I'm pretty sure. Oh, Arctic, when your snot freezes, no big deal. That just becomes insulation. When your snot runs down your nose and it freezes or gets on your beard. See, this is insulation, man. This is great in wintertime. Whiskey. Oh, you guys did thank him for the big super chat. Cool. Arctic, there's that damn bell. There's that damn kid on the escalator again. Mall rats. Kevin Smith. Just wish they could give us an update. I got everything going on, but I've been living in a suitcase. No job, car, house. Yeah, no hope for humanity. I understand where you're coming from. That's a frustrating one there. Yep. The NDA doesn't apply to conversations with me. No. Joe Texas, the NDA applies to what they're doing on that side. Yeah, no, they're fine. They're fine. They're fine. Yep. They're not supposed to disclose the process when they're involved in it. Well, did you see I mean, they put the woman in front of the screen. She's doing this, and we can't even see the chief of police the other day at Brown. I mean, I'm sorry. That's what closed caption is for. Okay? And if you're visually and hearing impaired, then how can you see the sign language? If you can see the sign language, then you can read the captions. Okay? No, I didn't hear the full Buster B. I missed that. I was busy. Fiji Jacob says, thank you for what you do. Not just, but I do it for the whole world. That's the thing that kills me. Hey, Ronell, what's going on? Check your WhatsApp. That's the thing that kills me here. Sorry, I got it. No sound. I got it. Well, you didn't want to hear what I had to say. I covered up. I got it. Like I said, something was inappropriate. Sound isn't gone. My microphone is off. See, the color was off. The sound isn't gone. I just said something inappropriate, so I put the microphone in silent. I said something inappropriate, so I just put it on silent so you couldn't hear me. If you can read lips, then you know what I said. Okay, the sound is not off. Stop it, Arctic. The sound is not off. Okay, you want to know what I said? Do you want to know what I said? Okay, I'll tell you what I said. Tell me if I know what I said. Arctic. Oh, man, listen to that guy, whippersnapper. Come on, where's it at? Come on. It's still getting hard. It should be the latest thing when I save something. There we go. Do you guys want to know what I said? Okay, you don't know what I said, then I won't say it. Oh, okay, Malcolm wants to know. I said, Ronell sent me the updated badge, okay? Here's the updated badge, okay? Because you guys were asking for a blonde. I said, put a white dude in there because there's not one white guy. There's a lot of color guys, but no white guy. There's a black guy. There's 3 colored guys. There's an Indian woman, there's a colored woman, and there's 2 white women. Not a single white guy. What did I say? What did I say? I said she put a blonde. So there's the blonde. See it? Look, we got a blonde now. You guys want a blonde. And she's cute. But she's not exactly a big bosomed woman. Didn't I ask for big bosom? That's why the microphone was off. You got your blonde, but we didn't get the big bosom woman. I'm sorry. Come on, guys. Oh, my goodness. Renell sent me an updated one. It was like, great, man. But she's, I'm sorry, but she's built like a little boy. She kind of looks like Megan Rapinoe. Oh, no, I didn't just say that, did I? Exactly. What's with the DEI pic? Where are the white dudes, man? There's not a single white guy in the picture. Except me. Oh, my goodness. Okay, modified intel. You've emailed me twice, asked to have a more formal intro, which you said we can do. Wanted to contribute a little more, but YouTube limits me 3,500 per day. Signing off. Thank you for the 1,000 Rand super chat. Okay, now I feel really guilty, modified intel. Let me go look for your message because I'm drawing a blank. I am drawing a blank on it. So let me. Where the hell's my mail at? Here we go. I need to open up another window because I need that email open. I'm still dealing with that one for somebody. So, okay. Modified intel. November 27th. You wrote to me on November 25th. You wrote to me 27th. I never saw the reply. Okay, there you just introduced yourself. So I never saw the reply. So my apologies for that modified intel. But it's unread. I'm going to open it up now. Oh, okay. All right. Sure. All right, if you're still here, I've just sent you contact information modified until I never saw your message from the 27th in which you told me what I needed to know. I just saw the first one. So, yeah, my apologies for that. Yeah, the only white person in that photograph was me. During medicals, I was told I have a spot in my lung, so results, private x-ray show no spot. I'm concerned. There's nothing you can do about it, Elise Peters. If that's the document they have. You know, your private x-rays may be wrong. Or maybe they made a mistake, but I mean, the sputum test, if you have nothing there, we'll prove it. You'll be fine. There's 14 January, you're going to have to wait. It's already in process. That's just the way it works. I'm sorry. That's unfortunate, but I'm sure it'll be fine as long as there's nothing there. Yeah, let them cut. Let them do it. I don't really care. They're a bunch of thieves anyway. Louie's off to work. Okay, have a good day. Have a good day. Okay. Yeah, YouTube Studio has gone to crap. It used to be a lot better, folks. A lot better. It's kind of crappy now. So it's gone to crap. What's going on? All my stuff collapsed here. What's going on? So, all right. Yeah, here's the thing, folks. So if you want to know the impact of my announcement yesterday, that video that I put up on the 16th announcing this raid has, how many did I have on my channel? It's good, but it wasn't overly impressive. Let me see the raid on the 16th. There it is. That one has 63,000 views, I think, 63,000. But that's not the impact of it. That was used on TikTok by people who stole my content, and some of them got hundreds of thousands. I think somebody got 500,000 views on that on TikTok, and then other people have used it on Twitter. People have taken my content all over. That video has probably reached about 3 million people. Of course, I don't get credit for that because they didn't watch on my channel. Biometrics are done. Wonder if I will have to wait another 6 months before getting my actual passport. Oh, Charles, wow. Well, let's hope they don't lose it again. Yeah, I'm sorry, Elsie. You're going to have to wait for results, and hopefully they will be accurate. Yep. No hope. What does no hope says? Is there perhaps any updates on the raid and what the U.S. is going to do with us as refugees? Well, there are updates. I've put out videos. I just put out another video. It's got 1,200 views in less than an hour. Well, less than half an hour. Let's see how long I had up. That video has been out. It's got 2,000 views. It's been up for 28 minutes. Yep. So that video is up. And my video last night, I told you what they're going to do. That one's got 30,000 views. Yeah, so that's two. You got to go watch the videos, guys. Yeah, watch the videos. Margaret Junius, thank you for hard work. Thank you so much for the 70 Rand super chat. Saw people post anonymously on Facebook that they received calls from. Why would they do that? See, remember, I said that there's no reason for them not to work through the holidays. But then I got information that it's probably done doing the screening until January. And of course, the News 24 said that they opened after Christmas, and they were sarcastic about it. Well, gee, I guess the genocide shut down over Christmas. Not about a genocide. Good morning and evening, man, the myth, the legend. Well, thank you so much there, West House. Appreciate that. 35 Rand Super Chat. Your news was very well timed for us. It got the news out before they were ready to talk about it. They also couldn't slant it in their way since the truth came out first. Exactly, Love Hate. I'm the disruptor. I disrupted the news cycle, which is courtesy of my viewers and the people who follow the program. And that really has sparked a firestorm of jealousy. It really has. It really, really has. Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing what people will do to when their feelings are hurt. And not why their feelings are hurt. It's a big enough space for everyone. Just report honestly. People trust you, and then you'll be able to get the scoop. Charles has got a spot on the February flights. Does he now? Who's got a spot for me? I mean, I'm going to come. You know why I'm coming to South Africa? Just so I can go to Mauritius. I can fly to Mauritius for $350 round trip to Joburg. Christmas is the time we have to be on our toes. My kids didn't want to do their application. The waiting for the baby birth in January, to me, it's very irritating but exciting for my grandchild. We still don't know if it's a boy or girl. Ronell, congratulations. Okay. But that's going to be frustrating. ANC would crap themselves if the Gerald Ford parks off Simon Street. Yes, they would. Yes, you only have to be on your toes Christmas time for a lot of reasons. Conrad got his passport in just 10 days. ANC is so happy you report what you do. Everyday media talks after reform refugees. They ain't talking ANC. Yeah, I suppose that's true. Well, Road Captain Kev, it sounds like they are wrapped up for the week, for the holidays. And that's the information I got this week. I got the impression they were going to be wrapped up for the holidays. Of course, News 24 sarcastically said, oh, I guess the genocide is on hold for the holidays. What a bunch of idiots. It has nothing to do with genocide. They constantly beat that drum. They constantly beat that drum. Yeah, no, you may be right about that, Eric. The more I talk about this, the less we hear about the Mshlanga Commission, the less we hear about the Raided Dairy Farm, Zandile Gumeda, Digital Vibes. Everyone's forgot about Digital Vibes. Remember that? Dr. William Kesey. Remember that? I haven't forgotten that. Yep. Pala Pala, Ritzy Joint. You have great crowd, and we are truly working together. This is unbelievable. You're honest. Well, thank you for that, Iceberg. We do. Look at this, 383 people here at this hour on a Friday morning in South Africa, a Thursday night here at 11 p.m. It's crazy. Classic counterintelligence. No, it's not. That's offensive. There's a difference. That's not counterintelligence. That's offensive counterintelligence. Arctic, get the term right. Offco. Polokwane sucks. Oh, that's a cool username. Polokwane sucks. Thank you for becoming a platoon leader. All right, we have to give it back. Let's give out a hand there for Polokwane. Polokwane sucks, man. Are you in Shisheo? That really sucks.
That was easy. That was easy.
Junipai, welcome to you. Look back. Every time there is a mass ANC scandal, we got a new cock law pass. Yep, it's a distraction. Yep, he needs a new sofa. That should be a new song. ANC intelligence in the same sense. No, offensive counterintelligence, man. No, that's what that is. That's an offensive counterintelligence operation. So counterintelligence, you have intelligence, which is trying to gather information. You come up with counterintelligence, which puts up barriers and ways to block. You're playing defense, counterintelligence defense. If you're trying to then run spies, that's offensive counterintelligence. Yeah. It is an old tactic. Do something to get everyone attention while they're stealing out the back door. The cops are distracted out here, and everything's going out the back door. Yep. Honestly, I'm very sadistic, but I haven't found someone more level-headed and accurate than you, which we appreciate. Well, thank you so much for that, Love Hate, and I'm glad you found the channel. It isn't easy for a lot of people to find this channel. It's not exactly promoted by YouTube. Sometimes they do. Sometimes we catch the algorithm, we just ride it. But news channels are plagued, unless you're a major new media outlet, independent channels, and unless you were on the internet in the 2010 to 2016 timeframe when you could say and do anything on YouTube and Twitter and gain an audience, unless you were around then, it's difficult to get traction. Although if you've got 34C and tiny 24-inch waist and you prance around wearing a thong, then you can get an audience instantaneously. My Food, interesting username. Good morning to you. All right, so yeah, so I do have some news things here. We're not going to leave everybody, but I just pop one or two at a time. So this was what got it all started. I reported on, and I broke this story too before the media did. This is that's 3 stories that I broke this week. Doxing and harassment of American officials by the South African government. A media note, 18 December. The U.S. condemns in the strongest terms the South African government's recent detention of U.S. officials performing their duties to provide humanitarian support to Afrikaners. Furthermore, the public release of U.S. officials' passport information is an unacceptable form of harassment. Detention. Now, the U.S. government is not saying that because of me. They are aware, I believe, of the doxed information on the official because of me and my viewers, but I have no evidence people were detained. I never even claimed that. The U.S. government is claiming detention. Their officials were unwarrantedly detained. That's them. And so Durko's denying it. Yep. You're right, Jan Els. It is shocking how many politicians are bought and paid for. Look at Gate McKenzie. Look at John Steenhuisen. Now we saw Dean McPherson previously. Now we're seeing even Leon Schreiber, someone we thought was a man of character, actually drinking the Kool-Aid. The difficulty in finding channels like yours is one of the biggest problems. Your everyday person doesn't look further into things because they think it's going to impact them. Well, it does. I don't like politics. Well, it doesn't matter whether you like politics. Politics is coming for you whether you like it or not. I don't like my taxes. That's because you weren't involved in politics and stopped it from passing. Last year, or earlier this year, when they tried to pass 2% value-added tax, the public lost its mind in South Africa, and they had to backtrack. Now, the Democratic Alliance takes credit for that, but it wasn't the Democratic Alliance that ended it. Nope. Taking an analytical stance on that raid, bar the unfair treatment of the Kenyans, others there, it may be number one thing that this has occurred, positive reaction, more people know about the program. Yes, Del Marie, a lot of people are saying that. A lot of people know about the program now. Good evening. Okay. Look at all the cock places in winter. Last year, Colorado is wonderful in the wintertime, man. It's ski country. Montana, a little cold there. Yeah. Yep. Arctic. Difficulty in finding channel. Okay. Still a beautiful country. Can't wait to relocate. Okay. Good morning, Hasigi. How's it going? Anyway. This can only be seen as an attempt to intimidate U.S. government personnel in South Africa on official business. The United States will not tolerate such behavior toward its government's officials or toward any of its citizens who are legally and peacefully operating abroad. The public release of personal identifying information puts the official in harm's way. Failure by the South African government to hold those responsible accountable will result in severe consequences. We call on the government of South Africa to take immediate action to bring this situation under control and hold those responsible accountable. Yep. Yeah, wind chill. Oh, yeah, Phoenix wind chill? Phoenix is a piece of piss in the summertime, in the wintertime. Yep. Bozeman. Is he a Bozite now? ANC government, the DA, is their number one supporter, is trying everything to piss USA off. You're right about that, Hansi. You are right about that. They're definitely trying to piss US off. Guess what? It's working. It's working, ladies and gentlemen. They are pissing off the U.S. government. Mad Max, his credit card is frozen, so we have to go with this. Oh, the ANC... the African National Congress unequivocally condemns Khalid Creole and Afroform for their latest actions, which constitute a reckless, racist, and deliberate campaign to undermine South African sovereignty, discredit lawful state institutions, and incite fear through manufactured disinformation. This conduct no longer fringe rhetoric; it is calculated political objective aimed at stabilizing democracy and fracturing social cohesion. That's comical. Wow. I'm going to print that out and read it, okay? Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, let me read that. The comments, I'm sure, are going to be funny. Oh, yeah, they're getting slammed left and right. Let me read their statement. I'm going to print it out. Okay, it was just there. Where'd it go? There it is. Print. All right, so I'm going to read this in. Thank you for that, Mad Max. Sorry that you haven't got your credit card working. Maybe when you get it working, you can pile up all the ones you had to send in the meantime. All right, so here we go. My ANC, African National Congress, okay? Here we go. The African National Congress unequivocally condemns colloquial and African form of the latest actions which constitute a reckless, racist, deliberate campaign to undermine South Africa's sovereignty, discredit state lawful state institutions, and incite fear through manufactured disinformation. This conduct is no longer fringe rhetoric. It is a calculated political project aimed at destabilizing democracy and fracturing social cohesion. The lawful intervention by the Department of Home Affairs against unauthorized foreign nationals operating illegally in South Africa has been cynically distorted by Afriform into a false narrative of racial persecution. This is not a misunderstanding of facts, but an intentional attempt to poison public discourse, incite racial hysteria, and portray South Africa as a hostile state to extreme right-wing networks. Such behavior is unpatriotic and dangerous. Afriform has once again chosen to posture as a conduit for foreign political interests instead of a responsible organization rooted in South Africa's constitutional reality. By internationalizing domestic matters, exaggerating false claims of victimhood, and lobbying external actors against our country, they reveal themselves as wedge drivers whose politics depend on division. As Istanwante President O.R. Tambo warned, these are those who would travel from ear to sow, sowing discord, weakening unity, and undermining the people's confidence in their own state. ANC calls on the people of South Africa to rise and defend our democracy, rejecting Afriform's racist disinformation campaign. We call on workers, youth, faith communities, progressive Afrikaners, and all peace-loving South Africans to refuse to stay silent in the face of provocation. Our freedom was won through sacrifice and struggle. No, it was won through the end of the Cold War. It was handed to you on a silver platter. Not so that a small group could distort reality, insult the intelligence of our people, and endanger national unity. We further call on the South African government to act firmly and decisively within the law against any organization or individual that persistently undermines constitutional institutions, spreads racial hatred, or colludes with external forces against South Africa. Our sovereignty is non-negotiable, and no one is above the law. Well, actually, you are above the law. You broke the law. You broke international agreements. You're also allowing military aircraft to be shipped to a sanctioned warlord in eastern Libya. You're also allowing South Africans to send mercenaries illegally to fight in the war in Russia. So you are above the law. South Africa is forged through courage, no. Solidarity, no. And a shared commitment to justice. Well, tell that to the 25,000 IFP members you murdered in KwaZulu-Natal in the 1980s and early 1990s. The people must speak out, defend their nation, and mobilize against such elements. It is time we expose the truth and defend the well, we are exposing the truth, and that's the problem. And we're hitting too close to home. That's the problem. We are exposing the truth. And you don't like the truth. You know why? Because you can't handle the truth. Yeah, it's protected under Section 16, Section 18, and Section 21 of the South African Constitution. Guarantees your rights. This is just bluster. Again, if Crispin Puri really was here the other night, you're welcome to do an interview. We don't have to do a live. We don't have to do a live. Mr. Perry, if you're around, if you want to do an interview, you can explain the situation. I'll give you airtime. I'll give you a chance to stage the case. Yep. They go back to struggle rhetoric. That's great. Well, Lee Mother's Love, RCS is not going to answer email. Quit sending them email. I don't know how many millions of times I have to tell people stop doing that. There's no one there to answer email. Why do you think they're going to answer your email? Why would they answer your email if you sent them half a dozen emails and the other 100,000 people sent them half a dozen emails? I mean, people need to think about what they're doing here. Jules, it's still Thursday here. It's 11/11, yep. They send military aircraft to other countries while South Africa only have 2 and 1 pilot. What a laughing matter, yep. Arctic thinks the anti-Trump stock will be their ticket to the next election. Well, not if everyone goes hungry and starves. I don't know where you told you that, Lee. They told you to send them an email because something changed? I'm not aware of that. You're getting information. If they told you, then do what they told you. But I've never heard that story. Basically, Durka flipped off the U.S. with their statement. Yeah, they did. That's basically what they did. South African president actually made a speech where he summed up. He said, we don't have reconciliation. We won't until income inequality, poverty, or no exist. So that will be never. Yeah, that'll never happen. Income inequality will always be there. I mean, I had income inequality. I lived in poverty as a kid, but I didn't whine about it. I didn't moan about it. I didn't demand compensation. I didn't demand welfare. I went out and got a freaking job, worked my tail off, and earned my way through life. Will they change the interview locations? Celeste Broomer, I don't know that, but what I can tell you is after the irresponsible, immoral, and shameful and disgusting conduct. By the way, News 24 has been reported to the press ombudsman. Not that that will accomplish anything, but their actions in doxing the U.S. location and the process, which is none of their damn business, it's not newsworthy. It puts people at risk. They have been reported to the press ombudsman. I can tell you that for a fact. And I think others are going to report them as well. But at least one case was open on them on Thursday. Will they change their location? This one they're going to have to change. I don't see how they can go back there. I don't see how they can go back there. People need to stop being victims and start taking responsibility for their own lives. Phoenix, that's what I did. I'm not a victim. Based on celebrities getting tire raids where ordinary people need to wait months for help. Celebrities get raids. What are you talking about? I don't understand what you're talking about, FHC. What celebrities, what raid? Cleo, take care. Well, Jules, they shouldn't be scared. They shouldn't be scared. You want to know what you do? You rent a car. Or you take public transport. Take an Uber to the location. Then they don't have your number plate. Take an Uber to the location. That's what you do. Wherever you're at, leave your car there, take an Uber to the location, get out of the Uber, go in, and then leave with an Uber. You guys should stay off WhatsApp groups are not Chris Wyatt oriented. There are a couple people in that chat that know. Yeah, folks. That's what I said. You should stay out of the groups. The groups they're spy networks. They are. They're spy networks. And I've only created 2 groups, and you can't chat in there. So there's not going to be any way you can be compromised in the groups that I'm responsible for. I have 2 groups, and Hendo is moderating there for me. In WhatsApp, and I have 1 group. Now I have other groups, but those are news groups. But you shouldn't be giving your personal details. You shouldn't be talking about your situation there. So I give no one a chance to discuss a refugee situation. No one. Therefore, no one can be compromised. Are you lazy? Just rob yourself and steal your stuff. Oh my God! It was 1 email, and it was necessary. You get told if something changes. Okay, then you're good, then Lee. But they're not going to answer you. I'm just trying to tell you they're not going to answer you. No, you're not stupid. If they told you to, Lee, I said if they told you to, then do it. I'm just saying that's not been what I've seen. Do what you were told to do. If you follow, but complaining that you hope they answer email here, I don't work for them. I can't make them answer email, and they don't have staff for that. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm telling you. Yeah, stop feeling intimidated. Just be smart. Is it a Star Trek sweater? Tommy Hilfiger. Tommy Hilfiger. Yeah, Lee. I'm not castigating you. No, if they told you to contact them, then do it. Then maybe they give you a special email. Well, good for you, Marceline. But you're one of 100,000 people that come in here complaining they're not answering emails. You didn't complain. But all these other people complain they're not answering emails, and I'm telling you why they're not answering them. They don't have staff for it. Exactly. Her situation is different. Yep. We get people that go and they have their medicals, and then 2 weeks later they haven't left the country, and then they start sending them emails. Then they come here like, I've been writing to them. When did you go through your interviews? This November 27th. And you're freaking out? Take a breath. Take a breath, Snoopy. When will Durban get a place for interviews? I don't know, Hannes Grobela. We've had people anecdotally tell us that they were scheduled for interviews in Durban and in PE, and then when they got their appointments, they were in Joburg and Pretoria. So I don't know when they're going to have them there. Hey, Willem, take care. I have a busy day tomorrow. I am being interviewed by an American media outlet at 10:15 my time. At 11 o'clock, I'm scheduling an interview with Josh Mercier. from the Hudson Institute, and then about a half hour, and then an hour of news. Then I have to leave here and go get petrol. Then I have to go meet some guy who wants to complain about being fired. I mean, it's a waste of my time, but I'll listen to him. And then I have to go collect my crabs. My day is pretty full tomorrow. Yeah, the mailbox is full. That's the problem. Really hope that the U.S. would accelerate this whole process. Trigger finger is already itchy. Leave your racist talk. Cock comments for... Yeah. Okay. All right. Buster, you got warned by Arctic. Celeste says, thanks. You appreciate it. Well, you're welcome. Lee Mother's love. I hope you didn't get mad and leave. Best news channel. Well, thank you, Wolf the Blind Biker. But not everybody agrees. Some people think I'm attention. I'm a fame seeker. You know, when I could go to South Africa and we had 6 or 10 people or 20 people show up at a meet and greet, I was on nobody's radar. That was a lot more fun. Now I go and I get news crews showing up and uninvited, and I have to take security measures. You know. Why won't I do night owls tomorrow, Kathy? What's going on tomorrow? Because I didn't run that far through the day? Yeah, I'll do night owls tomorrow night. Saturday night's the only night of the week I take off on night owls. Good evening, Bull Refugee. We're so screwed, says Arnie Bronze. Maybe. I don't know. If confronted with a racist in person, don't react. Keep your face neutral. It unnerves them. Yeah, they will. It does. They don't know what to do. They want a reaction from you. That's what they're looking for. What do you think about the Shlunga Commission report, where only the final report made public after asking very nicely about everything? Well, FHC, okay, let me explain. This is one thing I'm not going to give the government a hard time on, okay? So here's the problem. You will get testimony from other witnesses that might contradict what was already said, and you have to evaluate it. So the commission is going to have to evaluate and weigh all the evidence. So there also might be information that comes out from witness that more illuminates what's already been said, or takes in a different direction and requires the commission to be extended longer. So revealing what's in an interim report is premature. And I don't fault the government for saying it should be secret and the president should see it and not released to the public. However, I have very little confidence that a full report will be released when it's over. And that's a real concern. That's a real concern. That's my thoughts on FHC. I'm on leave now. So did Lee's mother's love go? I hope she's not mad and left. Modified Intel's amazing super chats are still hanging up there, folks. Look at that. Vippy said, I'm on leave now and had a few things to do. Doing nothing was second on my list. It's taking longer to do nothing than you thought, huh? Okay. During the shutdown, we slept in a very small building for 41 days. Guys, relax. Don't stress. I slept on the ground. My wife in a bed. We shared a meal between us for the entire shutdown. Publican, you should have. Did you not reach out to me? I mean, if I missed it, my apologies. But I did take care of several families with food socks. They had food. They didn't have to go hungry while they were waiting. For those who were stuck, who didn't get to fly. So my apologies if you didn't get that or you didn't see that. But we did take care of a number of people. If you look at the new immigration bill, it's obvious they're trying to fix the brain drain. It won't help, though. Yep. Oh, Kali replied. Thank you for that. It didn't take him long. The ANC leadership's attempts in this media statement intimidate me personally with blatant lies in the process to place my personal safety at risk, expose the ANC as a party that is increasingly undermining democratic principles and basic human rights. Unfortunately, there are also some of the media, such as Peter Dutoy, Adrian Basson from News 24, who are actively participating in the ANC's intimidation efforts. This intimidation will, however, not force me or AfriForum into silence. On the contrary, it motivates us to fight even harder for the sake of everyone in the country, for the protection of human rights. The struggle for human rights and for the country necessarily includes resisting the ANC's corruption, maladministration, and its attempts to turn South Africa into another Zimbabwe through expropriation without compensation. It would be disloyal to the country not to fight to prevent the kind of suffering to which Zimbabweans have been subjected from being repeated in South Africa. AfriForum will also continue to expose, among other things, the Bella Act, which threatens continued existence of Afrikaans schools and consequently Afrikaans cultural communities. Furthermore, we will not rest for as long as the presidency, Ramaphosa, and other ANC leaders refuse to unequivocally condemn Kill the Boer chant as a call for ethnic violence against Afrikaners. Well, there you go. There you go. And I replied, okay, I just want to say thanks for everything you're doing, Jean-Andre the Warrior Wolf. Late hours and all that. Well, you're very welcome, Jean-Andre. And I typically go to bed 3 o'clock if I'm lucky, and I'm up by 7 or 8 every morning. Yeah, it's been a long grind here in December. Somebody gifted me with a membership. Okay. Dallas, that's pretty cool. I don't know. Somebody gave out 50 memberships earlier. That's pretty cool. Angelique says, entertaining as always. Have a good night. People are leaving. Where are you going? Are you leaving on a jet plane? Are people leaving on a jet plane? 400 people here right now, though. Kathy has to leave now. What is this, the witching hour, man? It's 6:22. People must have to get to work. Release of information prematurely can lead to case being dismissed under law. That too. Same reason we tell Neighborhood Watch and role players not to post case and sub details on the social media. It's the same reason I could not talk to God bless you, Mark. Couldn't talk to Mark, the attorney, about the Malema case because there was a chance there would be an appeal and he couldn't discuss it for a long time. Mark Oppenheimer. I couldn't talk to Mark Oppenheimer for a long time. I had to wait over a year to talk to him about that case because Malema might have filed an appeal. Yeah, or they were going to file an appeal. So he couldn't discuss it, which sucked. I had to wait a long time. Yep. Indeed. So we all have to get into work. Turn down the lights. All I watched, a lot of your views. This is my news. Well, that's great. I'll be Meyer. Good to hear that. Yeah, Mark, I had to think it's Oppenheimer. Thank you, Arctic. I'm going to leave for Monday. Can't wait to do nothing. Live in the mountains and have to go to town to run some errands. Catch you later. Okay, Angelique, be careful. Okay. It's funny, people are leaving, but the viewership is going up. It was 412 when all these people said they leave. Now we're at 417. Of course, that's a trailing stat, so that data is about a minute behind. Okay. Jean-Andre, want to thank me for everything. You're very welcome. Okay. Thing Announs is here. I didn't see Thing Announs earlier. Welcome to you. Malcolm Clody's here. Hey, Malcolm, there's an OG right there. Yeah, if you release the Schlungen Commission too early, it has all kinds of problems, folks. All kinds of problems. So it's best not to do that. Yep, absolutely best not to do that. So we've had a couple really good days here because of these events. I mean, good days in which people have been watching the program. I just really wish that... so we had 240,000 views on Tuesday, 194,000 views the next day. So that's 430,000 views in 2 days. That's good. We were at that level for a while earlier this year. Hopefully get back to it. Not everyone in your office shares the same view. That's fine. News 24 staff just got to work. I live in the mountains. Okay, I saw that right. So yeah, more stuff here. Let me cover a few more things that were news related for those of you who are able to stay. So we'll get back to that other story there. So the myth of the Black Britain. So remember when the BBC breathlessly reported that Britain was settled by Black Africans? Yeah, they did that. They actually claimed that because a skeleton was found, and they claim that it was the first Black Britain. So let me tell you the story. This is by the Blaze running the story. It's hilarious because it was all poppycock and fabricated. The liberal myth of the first Black Britain just got blown out of the water. BBC's DEIification of history has been demonstrated to be nothing more than revisionist fantasy. Liberals in the United Kingdom have worked desperately to paint white Britons uniquely as history's villains, erase them from British history, and or programmatically undermine their unique claims to indigeneity in the Isles. The trouble for the institutional proponents of this vilification revisionist campaign is that the facts keep getting in the way. Case in point, recent DNA analysis confirms that the 2nd century skeleton gleefully identified by BBC as the first Black Briton was not a sub-Saharan African, but rather a white woman. A skeleton was discovered in the 1950s in Beachy Head, England, which belonged to a young woman who lived in the 2nd or 3rd century. Her remains sat in storage for decades until 2012 when Jonathan Seaman, the heritage officer of the Eastbourne Borough Council, and his team came across 2 boxes, which said Beachy had something to do with 1956 or 59, and that was about it. As there was virtually no records available about the remains, Seaman and his team worked to identify the Roman-era skeleton, sending it off for a facial reconstruction, which was undertaken by Caroline Wilkinson, an academic then at Dundee University. Seaman recalled, straight away on seeing this girl, Wilkinson said, "Oh my, you realize you've got a sub-Saharan African here?" Seaman noted Caroline subsequently had it looked at by 2 more experts who agreed, without being prompted, that this individual showed many traits of being a sub-Saharan African person. They were 100% sure that this was the origin of this lady. There are certain features of the skull that you can tell are Caucasian or African, We didn't know her carbon date at that stage or anything about her. So again, it just deepened the mystery. They reconstructed her, and as they did so, her African origins came out in the features of her face. Oh my. Oh. While the media made a big deal of this supposed discovery, the BBC went further than most, hyping it in both its news coverage and in its 2016 Black and British, A Forgotten History documentary. In the documentary, British-Nigerian host David Olusoga, overcome with delight at the sight of a facial reconstruction of the beachy-head woman with dark skin, dark eyes, and dark hair, tells Seaman, so she's a Black Briton. So she's the same as me. She's somebody who's both British and African, but who spent their life in this country. As part of the documentary series, the BBC installed a plaque where the remains of the beachy-head woman were found, stating, the remains of the beachy-head woman were found on this site of African origin. She lived in East Sussex, the 2nd, 3rd century AD. But the plaque was removed in 2023 after DNA testing by the Crick Institute determined that the beachy-head woman's origin was not Africa, but possibly Cyprus. More recently, a research team led by Doctors Selena Brace and William Marsh of London's Natural History Museum and Andy Walton of University College Chicago re-examined the skeleton using state-of-the-art DNA analysis techniques. They determined that the beachy-head woman was neither African nor a Cypriot, but a white local from the south coast of England. According to the researchers' findings, which were published in the Journal of Archaeological Science, she shows a close affinity to individuals from modern-day England and contemporary Roman-era Iron Age individuals in England and northern continental Europe. DNA results indicate the beachy-head woman had blonde hair, blue eyes, and intermediate skin with paleness weighted as more likely. Researchers also noted the decade-long investigation of the beachy-head woman's origins was centered around how her story has shifted over time and has sparked important debates about diversity. Same as the Cheddar Man, right? Turned out to be a scam to make Black people feel they had a connection to Europe. Exactly. It's all bullshit. All good, Colonel. You contacted me at 10 p.m. at night. I was sleeping. Spoke to the gentleman. Unfortunately, could not manage that. Okay. No, but they can mail it. I can't remember. They can mail the food. So I'm sorry that you didn't. I feel bad about that. So now I'll have to feel a little guilty when you've got a job on this side and you start making money and then when I start telling you it's time to super chat me, I'll feel guilty because you went hungry. Just kidding. No, Scandinavian, we do not take responsibility for the nonsense. Fenris is a god. Well, okay, cool. Nigerian-born English professor claims that Stonehenge was built. Yeah, I know. These people are lunatics. They also claim that Egypt was settled by Africans. Yeah, they were African because they were in Africa, but they weren't black. They weren't black Africans. They weren't Bantu people. Oh, my goodness. That skeleton sounds like Michael Jackson. Bones are universally white. That's correct, Light Rain. What did they do? What did Adrian Basson and Peter DeHoy do now? It's because of what I read from Kali Creel? Blame the Vikings. Yeah, blame the Vikings. Very visible discrimination in the workplace. Some people on their phones all day. Others get disciplinary files for not completing work. 5 people. Yep. No, the BBC ran that story. I have the story. Hang on. Let me find the story. Black and British. Here it is. Here it is. They ran the story. They ran with it. They promoted this garbage. The BBC did. There it is right there. Black and British, A Forgotten History revealed a fascinating side of our past. He looks more white than he looks black. Look at that. He's got a European nose and forehead and cheekbones, and he's kind of brown. He looks more East African than he looks, Southern African, but he's supposedly Nigerian. Yep. They're the ones promoting this stuff. Andre Clausen. Thank you for upgrading your membership, man. It was a white woman with a big black mole in her body. So she looked a lady on a t-shirt design. I don't know about that. They even try to steal someone else. Yeah, no honor whatsoever. Try to steal someone else's history. We see the same thing in America. Black Americans have made a huge contribution to America, but it's often overstated and overplayed. They have removed Robert E. Lee's statue from the Virginia State House and replaced it with a schoolgirl who stood up in class and protested in the 1950s. Rosa Parks, sure. Some schoolgirl in the 1950s? No, sorry. What could Africa build or teach anyone? Well, the pyramids. Slavery. Africa introduces, to this concept of, mass slavery, and we learned that from West Africans and East Africans, although it was slavery in Europe too, so. Hawk's not aware of further suspects. Okay, that's interesting. Arctic is saying, let me know if you need help. So, I'm confused, T-Publican. Are you in States now, or are you still in South Africa? I'm very confused. I'm sorry. I'm a little lost now. We also found lodging for people. So, I mean, but I can't remember what you told me. See, guys, the usernames and then people contact me. It gets a little confusing, okay? Yep. Are you a fan of Colonel Sanders? Nope. I don't like KFC. I used to raise chickens. I like KFC. Give me. Paul Stapleberg, didn't even know you're here, and to leave him, man. Trump orders marijuana to be downgraded for medical use. The pro-pot movement got its biggest federal win Thursday when President Trump removed marijuana from the list of most restricted drugs and rescheduled to allow for expanded medical research and applications. It will be removed from Schedule 1 drug like heroin to Schedule 3 like Tylenol with codeine under Controlled Substances Act. It's a win for potheads. We have people begging for me to do this, people that are in great pain, Trump said in the Oval Office. For decades, this action has been requested by American patients suffering from extreme pain, incurable diseases, aggressive cancer, seizure disorders, neurological problems, and more, including numerous veterans with service-related injuries and older Americans who live in chronic medical problems that severely degrade their quality of life. Well, I'm an American veteran living in severe pain, and I don't want weed. Well, Sally, the pyramids were built by aliens. The aliens just delivered them. They were like, it was like, Temu. You order from Take-A-Lot and it just appeared. Africa for Africans. Yeah, there's no such thing as Africans. Africa is inhabited by Arabs who are Caucasian, or considered white. It's inhabited by Polynesians. Not Polynesians, by South Asians, I should say, not Polynesians. Nico Botma, thank you for your subscription. Africa is inhabited by mixed race people. It's inhabited by Asians. It's inhabited by those of European descent. So lots of people. So sad when they're trying to pull them. What? House of Hanover. That would be the British royal family. I heard you don't deny the fact that the Kenyans were here and working. Didn't that give some merit to Nancy's story? I agree with the rest of your analysis regarding how they handle it. No, it doesn't, Langman. And I don't deny the fact they were there. I was confused. I had people contacting me since August saying that they met with the Kenyans. I'm like, how do you meet the Kenyans? They're in Kenya. Somebody said they were there. Other people said I was at the center and I never saw any Kenyans. There were no Kenyans, just Americans there. So the whole thing was puzzling all along. So I'm not denying they're there. The U.S. government hasn't admitted or denied it, but I suspect they were. The problem is that the whole story is bullshit. This is on a public holiday, and this is not the way you handle it. I mean, why in the world would you do this to antagonize the Americans? Did the Americans refuse to remove them? That's a simple question. Why doesn't News 24 ask that question? American Embassy. Hello, American Embassy? Yes, this is Peter DeToy from News 24. We're curious. Is there a reason that you refused to remove the Kenyans after you brought them here? Refuse. We were never asked to. So, the whole thing is bullshit. Whole thing is bullshit. Also, they entered the country legally, which is what the government denied initially. But then they tried to change their story and say that, well, they were here on a visa, a tourist visa, which they are, and they were doing work. Okay, that's a problem. But you can't lie and say they entered illegally. You got people from the government saying they came through Mozambique and through Botswana and all these other places. And they derive that from stamps inside the passport of the American whom they doxed. So Langman TLP, I don't know if that answers your question, but there's no justification for this raid whatsoever. Also, it's a diplomatic facility. There's no justification ever to raid a diplomatic facility. It's a clear violation of the Vienna Conventions. Never a justification. So it's all poppycock. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. So I'm not going to pussyfoot around this and say that they were justified. They weren't justified. This is not how you handle this, particularly when it has diplomats involved. You could have killed somebody. You could have injured somebody. This is a serious situation. And now they've put a diplomat's life at risk. And they're denying. They're saying it never happened. Well, it did happen. We saw it over Twitter. And I've confirmed that this is an American. And this is a veteran. And he's a naturalized American born in West Africa who's black and has an African accent. And because he was black and had an African accent, they thought they had the right to harass him. And they did harass him. And they screwed up big time. So, Langman, I hope I answered your question. If you have further question, please ask it. Why didn't they just allow the correct work visa? Exactly. Yeah, why did they're like, they don't have specialized skills. That's a lie. See, that's another lie by Ronald Lamola. Why is Ronald Lamola commenting on visas? That's not his job. The Minister of Foreign Affairs isn't responsible for visas and entry to the country. That's Home Affairs. Sticking his nose out there in this problem. He never should have done that in August. Why would they deny work visas? Because it says they didn't have specialized skills, but they do have specialized skills. That's why the U.S. government needed them. They have extensive experience in doing this all over Africa. Unique experience. Nobody in South Africa has done what they're doing for the U.S. government and those U.S. government systems. So they have unique experience. So that's a lie in itself. There was no justification for denying their work visa. But again, when they denied their work visa, I said South Africa is a sovereign nation. They don't have to give them a visa. I said they don't have to give them a visa. That's what I said in August. I love, not you, not anyone here, but I love how people come around afterwards and try to twist the narrative. I have viewers who were here. They listened to me in August when this came up and the visas were denied. I said, well, it's their prerogative. It's a sovereign state. They don't have to let them in. It's a mistake, but they can do it. How will the new ambassador be received? Coolly. It won't be a pleasant presentation of credentials. What is it with Shelley Hepburn video that's upsetting everybody so much? I don't know. What are you talking about, Helig? Can you tell me? Did you watch the video? I don't know what you're talking about. I was wondering if you know Michael Yon. I know a Michael Yon, but I don't even know if he's even alive anymore. Is a black guy? Was an NCO in the Army? Is that who you're talking about? It's the only Yon I've ever known. Right, they fast-tracked Palestinians. Now they're stopping that too. Congratulations on 35 million views, Colonel White. Sorry, I joined only a few minutes ago and rolled the chat back so I can... Okay, that's cool. Thank you, Wendy. Good to see you here. That's right. Laverne said I said that in August. Yep. I was there when you said it. Yep, Sally. Kenyans were on site to help sort out issues such as when people accept and confirm their interview date. Yeah, that may be the case. Yep. Mean not send, huh? If they reject Brent Bozell, that will be a massive... I'll tell you what, that would be a huge mistake. South Africa, they reject Brent Bozell, then they're going to be in deep trouble then. Combat correspondence. No, that guy would not have been a combat correspondent. He was functionally illiterate, the guy that I know. Yes, it was a setup from the beginning. Yep. So, Langman, okay. Lee Mother's Love still here, but she's happy that Trump signed the drug so that potheads can have pot. Just kidding. No, I don't like marijuana. No, South Africa doesn't have to accept any ambassador. And here you've heard it here. Because people will contort things. If that comes to pass and they don't accept them, they'll say that I never said that. I'm saying it right here. The South African government doesn't have to accept the credentials of any diplomat. It's their prerogative. They're not required to. Just like we're not required to. It is highly unusual not to accept them, though. Exactly. Why didn't they just let them finish the work? Because they wanted this incident. I will push this code Yankee to Colonel. He can send your number to me. On a tablet. Exactly. That's the thing. See, that's the thing that confused me a little, Lita. The Kenyans, people were telling me that they dealt with the Kenyans, but they weren't physically present. They were in Kenya. You were on a tablet. So it's very confusing. They intentionally created the situation to have justification for the raid. Exactly. Hey, Nephilim, welcome to you. Yeah, okay. Hegel, what are you talking about with Shelley Hepburn? What are people upset about? I don't pay attention to that crazy woman. She is a slanderer. She's a liar, and there's something wrong with her. I don't pay attention. So what is the issue, Heliga? Okay, please tell me. Lily Fundiplas is up. Of course, it's easy for her. It's only 10:40. It's not 11:40. Lily, I've had messages telling me that you are friends with Shelley Hepburn, and you're also in deep with the Amerikaners. People are saying that about you. Did you know that? I just thought I'd let you know here. I'm just like, what? Yep. Can the U.S. refuse South African soccer players next year's Soccer World Cup? Yes, they can. I think it's a dumb idea. They shouldn't do that. Let them just play sport. Kenya's at the facility and via Zoom call. Okay, there you go. The black guys that we saw had an American accent. Well, the guy from West Africa probably doesn't have an American accent. Can the UN intervene in the refugee issue on an international level? The UN is not going to intervene. The UN is a racist organization that's dedicated to the destruction of the West. Yep. Colonel with turbo lag, speed may have vary. Okay. Yeah, there were a lot of few Kenyans there. Okay. Okay. Lee's laughing. Exactly, Lee. That's, I mean, that's what, that was my response. I'm like, really? But anyway, Hallie, are you asking a real question? You haven't followed up, or were you just trying to set me up for a response? You asked the question about why people getting upset about Shelley Hepburn's videos. I have no idea. I don't watch her videos. I don't watch her videos. Yep. So you're not. I see that's okay. I'm looking for this Helig person to write something in there. It's things like that come in out of the blue. So Helig, either you need to write something to me, let you know you're here and you're real, or we're going to think you're just a troll who came in here to try to get a response. But there's no response from me. I have nothing to say about Shelley Hepburn. I don't know what that's about. I don't know what that's about. There's also a video, I think, SABC News Digital, where an expert was invited and commented that apparently it's strange for refugee applicants to be interviewed in the country where they're oppressed. No, it's not strange. See, that's because the expert's a moron. And what have I said from the very outset back in February? What is unique about this program? It's not unprecedented, but it's unique. This is an in-country refugee program. We have done this before. It's unusual, but it's not unprecedented. We did it in Bosnia and Herzegovina. We did it in Cuba. It's an in-country refugee program, not unprecedented. It's unusual, but not unprecedented. So whoever that expert is a moron that doesn't know what they're talking about, that doesn't know anything. Just like the Canadian immigration expert. Remember that? Oh, no. If you become a refugee, that's a black mark in your passport and you can't go anywhere in the world and you don't want to do that. You should come to Canada and pay me 40,000 Canadian dollars so I can get you there. Remember that guy? He didn't say the last part. Remember that guy? That bullshit artist that came on to Newsroom Africa and lied to the world about refugee status, calling it asylum and saying it was a black mark in your passport? What a crock. What a total crock. I exposed that guy. He just disappeared. He's gone to the dustbin of history. Little weasel. They ignore millions of illegal aliens and then on a public holiday show up in uniform. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to ask again, that person, Helig, that asked me about Shelley Hepburn, if you're here, why aren't you asking a follow-up question? All right, see, I'm about to declare you a troll because you're not responding. No, Helen, they'll continue to do it in country. President Trump unbans marijuana. That would make growing easier, which would open the door for hundreds of hemp-based. No, it won't make growing easier. No, because it has no effect on growing. Trump is saying that the substance is still a controlled substance, but local laws determine whether you can grow or not. So the states have to decide that. South African government doesn't like the Kenyan government as they are closely aligned with the U.S. and with Israel. Yeah. What would the South African government need to do for the U.S. to justify military intervention? Oh, a lot more than's happening now, Tennis. This is nowhere near that. On our end, all the Kenyans were doing was coordinating between the Americans and Kenyan people online for intake interviews. Yep. Good morning from PE, Handyman. Welcome to you, LBR. Yep. Immigration Act updated 2005 visitor visa section says it's permissible to perform voluntary. It is, but Ian, we don't know if they're actually being paid. So maybe they have evidence they're being paid. So I'm not gonna step out on that branch and watch it break underneath because I'm a credible journalist who's responsible, and I can't prove one way or the other whether they're doing voluntary work. But if they were, they can also get a stipend under that. So to pay for their housing and their food. ECR, East Coast Radio News, yesterday repeated Washington Trump administration spokesman said roughly translated that their operations were all legal. Yep, I think they probably were. Love it when you expose people, Colonel. Hilarious when people rightfully get called out in their bullshit. Yeah, Sven Stahlbart, I agree. And they try to call me out. It's hilarious. All these people steal my content and lie about me. Does in-country refugee program mean that it's a bigger problem for the minorities? No, Nicola, no. No, it just meant that we recognized that they needed to get people out of South Africa, just like we recognized we needed to get people out of Cuba and Bosnia, and that you didn't necessarily have to flee because there were real threats to your life. So, for instance, we wouldn't expect a homosexual in Syria to flee to Lebanon to escape persecution because there's persecution in Lebanon. We wouldn't expect them to escape to Israel because the border is closed. They can't get across. So we would accept them as a refugee in country because their homosexuality would put their life at risk if we had a program like that. Does that make sense? Yeah, I don't know why people keep focusing on military intervention. They were doing back in 2020, asking for military intervention. No, that's not going to happen. I don't think the Kenyan government will do anything about it. These uninformed journalists still call it a program for asylum seekers instead of a program for refugees. Exactly. They clearly know the difference between the two. Exactly. Swift bans will do enough to bring South. Yeah, I agree, Highness Oldafia. That'll do it. That'll do it. Constitution written on hemp parchment. I didn't even know who this woman is. Shows you how much I pay attention to other people's things. Such a raid would have been authorized in advance because overtime needs to be submitted and approved in advance. Yeah, very slow process. Thank you, Love Hate. Good point. I wonder, I might be wrong, but seeing what South Africa did to a site used by Americans, the South Africans wanting to take up the offer for refugees, do you think there will be online meetings held from? No, I don't think so. And Marie Vissa. No, I don't think so. I think that'll still be continuing the way it's been done. They just won't be able to use that site. It's been compromised. But I mean, not compromised because the government knows where it's at. As I've said, the government knows where these sites are. South African government knows where the sites are. But malevolent actors know where they are now, and they know the process, and they've put people's lives in risk. And that's why people have reported News 24 to the press ombudsman. Yeah. Gina says, regarding Shelley Hepburn, there was a YouTube of her regarding refugees in the USA that were complaining of their accommodation. Yeah, I did hear an audio of that. So let me adjust that. And I addressed it briefly earlier. So and the other person asked the question, then they just disappeared. So I thought it was being set up because people do that all the time. They come in and ask a question, try to be legitimate, and they just disappear so they can steal the video and say, aha, see? Yeah, so no, in that question, I've said this myself. This isn't news. She glomming on now, trying to, I've been talking about this for a few months. Remember, I helped the people in Austin, Texas. I sorted that out for them. I've helped people in other places around the country that didn't have ideal circumstances, working in support and help they needed. Absolutely. I've also early in this program said that it's been a disturbing number of cases come my way. A colored family in California is being treated like crap, in my view, based on the information they gave me, but I'm not there. I'm trusting them. A family in Virginia has run into problems, but I intervened, and I don't know if my intervention played a role, but suddenly they're getting help, the people in Virginia. There is a family in, where's the other place? Rochester, New York. I've intervened, but I haven't told them I've intervened. They don't know that I've intervened. So hopefully that's improving for them. Yeah. And Miss Hepburn is correct in the audio that I heard from that video that it appears to be happening on the East and West Coast. Well, what's on the East and West Coast? Leftist run states. New York is a leftist run state. Virginia is a leftist run state. California is a leftist run state. And it may just be coincidental or anecdotal, but the reality, or both coincidental and anecdotal, but the reality is that that's where we're hearing these cases. The exception being Texas. That was an odd one that caught me off guard. So those are places where I'm personally intervening right now. It's eating a lot of my time. And people are like, why aren't you answering my email? Well, I'm busy helping people. I don't get paid for this. That's the thing that kills me. And I guess Shelley has a daughter, and she insulted me. She can go suck on a lemon, doing this for fame. That useless oxygen thieves. Okay, join late. Okay, so yeah, that's what I do. Thank you, Gina, for sharing that. I don't even know why people watch that stuff. I'd like to ask, why does government waste time and resource unnecessary raid? Why not do a sting operation in Zamas? That was the question I asked Liesl. Watch my videos. That's in there from the very beginning. Yesterday was rain and sun. Okay. Dr. Makubele admitted that CWS has been working with South Africans for many years, repatriating expatriates back to South Africa after their apartheid era. That's right. I haven't even mentioned that. Church World Service has been moving refugees for decades and getting paid by the U.S. government. Yep. And she's been working with South Africans. Yep. Or they've been working with South. So this is clearly, see that part. Wait till the U.S. reveals that. Yep. Yep. They're working under anyone who's willing to payroll them. Just look at the case they made against Israel. Suddenly, after that, they went from being unable to pay employees to bankroll. Yeah, no, I talked about that when it happened at the time. Autocorrect. Yeah, Sigi, that happens. What's your opinion about what's happening in England at the moment? What specifically, Hannes? There's all kinds of crap happening. You're going to be more specific. Yeah, so Trump signed that. Oh, so we just imagined that Voice of America was a problem. Listen to this. So Marjorie Taylor Greene resigned. She said, "Oh, it came across your feed," says Gina. Well, it doesn't cross my feed. Hey, Leanne, what's going on? The raid will likely lead to many more venues for fewer people per day. Large gatherings will be monitored and leaked to malicious actors. If you know anything about this. Yeah, exactly, Sven. That's right. Voice of America employee admits that he made death threats against Representative Greene. Studio supervisor pledged to kill Republican Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, her family and staff in 8 voice messages. A Maryland man who worked as a supervisor at Voice America pled guilty Thursday to making death threats against Marjorie Taylor Greene, her family and staff in ominous voice messages. Seth Jason admitted in court records he repeatedly threatened to gun down Republican Congresswoman who until recently was one of President Trump's staunchest allies. In voicemail messages he left at her district offices in Georgia using pseudonyms such as Kevin and Ruben. The messages began in October 2023 with a threat to shoot her between the eyes with an AK-47 at one of her rallies and ran through January 2025 around the time's inauguration. Greene, you will not see the inaugural. You'll be dead, he said, January 8th. Your family will be dead. Your staff will be dead. On the 20th, you'll all be dead. The 64-year-old moron worked for more than 2 decades at Voice America, a news outlet run by the U.S. government until Trump disbanded it, rightly so this year. First as a contractor, then a full-time federal employee starting in 2009, and a supervisor since 2011. He was in charge of studio renovations, studio scheduling, payroll, and management issues. He retired in May. This is the caliber of people that worked at the Voice of America, and Trump disbanded it. People complained about it. These are the kind of scumbags that are working in many offices and many agencies in Washington, D.C. SABC talked with the expert this morning. There is some footage of the airport and flight information signs. This means after Cockpot leaked the info, there are more reporters at the airports. Well, they're trying to jump on a story. It'll fade. All the protests against illegal immigration time. I didn't see that, Hannes Olafir. Didn't see it. I missed that. Love, hate, agreed, which is why I mentioned it. They're too stupid to be doing this on their own, so there must be someone behind the scenes. Just like you said, Colonel Wyatt, our government's focus is on all the wrong things. They don't focus on what they should, but focus on programs that can change people's lives and even save lives. No words. Yep. Counterintuitive, but the hemp fiber farmers and pot farmers can't coexist. Okay. Didn't know that. Kenyans were not the reason for the raid. It's an excuse. That's right. It's an excuse. And unfortunately, the Americans gave them an excuse. It emboldened them. Actually, maybe that was intentional. Maybe the U.S. government knew that if they had the Kenyans there and they had the legal situation correct, that the South African government could step on its crank and then it could just prove them wrong in the end. Maybe the Americans set the South Africans up. We hadn't considered that. Maybe the Americans set up the South African government. Have you thought about that? We know that they enter the country legally and that as a visitor, they could be, volunteers and they could get a stipend and they could have their housing paid for as part of that while they're volunteering their time. Maybe the Americans did everything legally and they let the South Africans get away with this so they can slam them. Look, somebody's stupid here. It isn't me. It isn't you. Maybe it's the American government. Maybe it's the South African government. But somebody made a mistake. The South African Defense Force major discharged 2018 for posting hate speech against whites was reinstated less than a year later. Wow. Look at that. Look at that. A racist was reinstated into the military. It's ironic anything about the illegal immigrants operating around the mines. Yep. They carry high caliber guns, explosives. Zamas. Yep. Vincent, Peter, they should wear signs. He has to hold the Starbucks bottle 15 inches over his head for 40 minutes. What are you talking about, Holden? I haven't had Starbucks since November 4th. November 4th. So that's the 30 days. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 19 days. No, that's not right. 14 days. 14 days. A month and 2 weeks. Yep. Raids on hijacked buildings, including one where DJ Warris was employed. Yeah, that was already underway. Yep. Okay, check my last two. Oh, did we get some more white people in the pictures? Whoa, baby. Okay, that's better. Okay, now we're talking, Ronell. Hang on. Hang on. Okay, guys, get ready. Okay, hang on. This is going to be fun. Okay, you guys ready for this? Hang on. Oh, hang on. This is going to be fun. Don't go yet. Wait, so am I leaving there? I have to get to where I go. Hang on, love, hate, just a second. You're gonna be happy you hung around. Just give me less than a minute here. It'll only take a second to get this up, okay? Where the heck are they at? All right, so here we go. So we, hang on a second. Come on. So this is the one we had first, okay? So that's the first image, okay? And like, there's no white dudes in, okay? So here you go, the Wyatt Army. This is the one was changed a little bit. Oh, that's not it. Somebody wanted blonde hair. So Ronell changed it. We got a blonde. Okay, so I'm the only white dude. Then there's a color guy, black guy, colored lady, white lady, Indian lady, or colored lady, and then one blonde. See, she put a blonde in there, okay? All right, but she looks like Megan Rapinoe, okay? So Megan Rapinoe. So hang on. So that's Megan Rapinoe-like, and that just didn't do it for me. All right, so now we're going to show you the next one. So Ronell sent me 2 more options here. So here's the second one, okay? Now, this blonde has lovely long blonde hair, okay? And we got white dudes in the back, okay? So we added some white dudes. There you go. See, look. Okay, so look at the front row. Look at that. Ooh, that's lovely bleachy blonde hair. I like that. Very attractive. And they got a white dude in the back. And they got a guy who looks distinct like Willem Petzer. Look, there's Willem Petzer over my shoulder. Look at that. That's Willem Petzer. You see him? There's Willem Petzer, man. How did Willem Petzer get here? Yeah. Oh, she looks a lot better than Charlize Theron. Okay, so we got the blonde. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Yeah, I know the blue eyes aren't there. I don't see the blue eyes. Okay. And now, you guys ready? This is for the fellas. This is for the fellas. Okay. You guys ready? Okay. What did I ask for? We want big boobies. We want big boobies. Check out the blonde now, guys. Oh my goodness. Houston, we've got a problem. You can't even see the black dude anymore. Her breasts are so big, he's been pushed to the side. So much for our multiracial diversity, the black guy can't find him anymore. Okay, I just got one thing to say about that. I've got one thing to say. Those aren't real. No, there was always a lady there, but she was flat like a little boy. And she... Where's her back brace? Oh, that is funny. Guys, they're not real. Yeah, the black guy's really smiling. Check it out. Check it out. He got a big smile on his face. Look at that. Hey, hey, good looking. What's going on there? Right now at the International Space Station, there's a cosmonaut looking out. Whoa, hang on. What is that? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, okay. Well, wait till you fit the Friends and Family Only Friday coming from Trump later on. It is AI. Oh my goodness. Hello, kitty. What's that in the left-hand corner? Yeah, who cares if it's real or not, says Malcolm. Guys, you asked for a blonde. I asked for white dudes. I said, about some, she's kind of, like Megan Rapinoe, flat chested. Can we fix that? Artie says, not real, completely irrelevant. She might poke his eyes out. What? I told you they were calculated cunning. What, the breast? What are you talking about, Charles? What were calculated? The breast? Yes, she does stand out. Well, look, at the White Army, we take all sorts. Woo, my goodness. Well, the Chicago Bears might be leaving Chicago. Can you imagine that? They've been there for a century. Chicago Bears might be leaving because J.B. Pritzker, the leftist lunatic billionaire in charge of the state of Illinois, has refused to build a new stadium. Bears leaving Chicago. Team threatens Indiana move as Pritzker rejects stadium deal. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker's 2028 presidential ambitions are colliding with a very local headache, the Chicago Bears stadium saga. The team's exploration of relocating to Northwest Indiana from Storage Soldier Field instead of a new stadium in the Chicago area has dominated local headlines and sports radio chatter, thrusting the Democratic governor into a high-stakes fight over a franchise that has been synonymous with Chicago for more than a century. Adam Hofer, a sports economics expert at the Tax Foundation, described it as a classic catch-22, forcing elected leaders to balance their political survival with responsible stewardship of taxpayer dollars, including whether those dollars would be better spent on roads or schools. The adage when I taught sports economics was that there's no faster way to lose re-election than to lose your professional sports team from your city. So no policymaker wants these teams to leave, and the way you try to keep them is by throwing lots and lots of public money at them. He said he wants the Bears to stay, but he doesn't want taxpayers footing the bill, propping up what is now an $8.5 billion value business. Well, we'll see. At least you can buy a car without airbags. Oh, okay, please send us a pic. Back this week, I have the internet issue. Oh, my goodness, Lily. I got mine solved, it looks like. She's hijacking the entire badge. Black guy wasn't smiling. We wouldn't have noticed him. Oh, stop that, Buster. That's just rude. Take care, Marin Nadir. She needs her own badge. Just keep the blonde up while you read cock news. Sports none of us follows. Be quiet, Arctic. I'm out of tea. I drained my tea. Do you know, if I was clever, this would have Starbucks in it, but I'm not that clever. It's tea. I see. Nikki Boswell, how's it going? Anita Kherbla, what's going on there? How you doing? Truth Social is merging. The company is joining. It's a merger. Trump Media and Technology Group, the social media and crypto company in which President Trump holds a large stake, said it would develop a utility-scale fusion power plant. That's pretty crazy. Trump Media and Technology and TAE Technologies, a fusion power company, said Thursday they had agreed to an all-stock merger valued at more than $6 billion. It would be a total transformation for Trump Media, the parent company of Truth Social. Wow. Trump Media stock has been flagging, falling about 69% this year before the merger announcement. The announcement provided a jolt to Trump Media shares, which rose about 25%. President Trump is the company's largest shareholder, owning a stake worth more than $1 billion, though at one time it was worth more than $4 billion. His shares are held in trust managed by his eldest son, Don Jr. Did not immediately comment on the deal. The merger would create one of the world's first publicly traded nuclear fusion companies, according to news release. TAE Technologies, according to the release, has received financial backing from Google, Chevron, Goldman Sachs, and others. Some tech companies are looking at fusion, still experimental technologies, a clean source that could help feed the electricity thirst of AI data centers. That's why Trump Social wants it. Could be the big energy breakthrough, the first thing since nuclear that's made a huge change. So, TAE was originally Tri-Alpha Energy, founded in 1998. Some of its early backers included astronaut Buzz Aldrin, Harry Hamlin, the actor, Alan Puckett, former chairman of Hughes Aircraft. Yep, there you go. There you go. Wow. That's something else. Hey, let's talk about Utah, folks. Let's talk about Utah. Or do you want to see the fun bags again? She won't sink in the arc. She told you views would go up with a bikini girl. I didn't even think about Double D. There you go, Arctic. And see the casualties who feel sorry for themselves, the untouchable. Okay. Hey, what's going on, Adam? How much time will the USA give Saudi give feedback? I don't know how much time they'll give them. Be brave. The South Africans have responded, and it's not going to go down well in Washington today. Utah, who cares? I care. I love Utah. Fantastic place. Be quiet, Art. Sit down. Nobody's talking to you. Oh, my goodness. Hey, Lynn. Utah's growth experienced significant shift in 2025. These are the fastest growing counties. Utah's population grew by over 44,000 from July to July 2024-25. Natural change surpassed net migration as the main growth driver for the first time this decade. Utah is still growing, but state demographics say its growth continues to moderate as the number of people moving in is starting to slow down. The Beehive State gained a little more than 44,000 people. And the Utah Population Committee reported that represents a year-over-year population growth of 1.3%, bringing the state's estimated population to 3,550,000. This year's growth is slightly less than 50,000 who came the previous year because of net migration. The number of people moving the state versus the number of people leaving wasn't as robust. Yep. So here are the counties growing. You see heavy growth in a couple of counties. There you go. Absolute change, percentage change. So the actual number of people on the left-hand side, Utah County in the center there gained 15,914 people, or 2.1%. Millard County gained 106 people, so nothing, 0.8. Beaver County gained 90 people, which represents a 1.2% change. If that's 1% of the population, it must be a very thinly populated county. Yep. San Juan lost 4 people, and so it didn't gain anything. Yeah, so pretty moderate growth. Box Elder County. Yeah, so that's Utah. Why is that ring calling Ronell? What's going on? What happened with Ronell? White ostrich. What was that? Wants what state to fail white ostrich? Oh, animate the logo. Okay. Oh, the immigration lottery pause. That was coming. I knew that was coming. That was just a matter of time. That's not a surprise. Not a surprise at all. The Brown University shooter Claudio Manuel Neves Valente entered the United States through the Diversity Lottery Immigrant Visa Program in 2017 and was granted a green card. This heinous individual should never have been allowed in our country. In 2017, President Trump fought to end this program following devastating New York truck ramming by an ISIS terrorist who entered under the diversity program and murdered 8 people. At President Trump's direction, I'm immediately directing USCIS to pause the program to ensure no more Americans are harmed by this disastrous program. Well, there you go. Yeah. The new police recruits, call them slobs, call them jerks, call them gross. Just don't call them when you're in trouble. Police Academy. What an institution. Oh, my goodness.
Claudia Manuel Neves Valente was enrolled at Brown from the fall of 2000 to the spring of 2001. He was admitted to Brown's graduate school to study in the Master's of Science PhD program in physics, beginning on September 1st, 2000. And he took a leave of absence effective April 2001 before formally withdrawing effective July 31st, 2003. During his time at Brown, Neves Valente was enrolled only in physics classes. The majority of physics classes at Brown have always been held within the Barris and Hawley classrooms and labs. Now, detailed records indicating where specific courses were held don't extend back to 2001. But we can say that physics classes typically require access to specialized equipment, including demonstration carts that are a fixed asset in some of Barris and Hawley classrooms. So I think it's safe to assume that this man, when he was a student, spent a great deal of time in that building for classes and other activities as a PhD student in physics. He has no current...
Yeah, okay. These Keystone Cops in Rhode Island is just unbelievable. In fact, let's go look at that. Chris, what did you say about pausing the program? So, I didn't say the program was paused. Where'd you get that from? I never said that. I never said the program was paused. Not true. I never said that. I said that it looks like that the Kenyans and Amerikaners may not be doing pre-screening through the holidays. I initially thought they would work through the holidays. There's no reason for them not to work, but now it looks like they won't. And I don't think it was tied to this event. I think that based on what information I've been able to dig up thus far, it appears that the intention all along was because the Americans wouldn't be there anymore. So I guess they didn't want to stack up and get cases backed up. So the suspect in the shooting is dead. Yep. in New Hampshire. Yeah, I saw that earlier on the news about 4 hours ago. Brown University shooting suspect is found dead. Self-inflicted wound, if I'm not mistaken, found dead. Claudia Valente, a 48-year-old former Brown University student and Portuguese national, was found in a storage facility in Salem, New Hampshire with a satchel, firearms, and evidence matching crime scene. In an affidavit, investigators say a campus custodian's observations and an anonymous Reddit post helped narrow the search for the suspect, but they don't know why the suspect targeted the university. Valente is also responsible for the killing of an MIT professor days after the Brown University attack. He attended the same academic program as the professor in Portugal between 1995 and 2000. The shooting Saturday left 2 students dead, 9 injured in the Ivy League school. 6 of the victims are now in stable condition. Rhode Island governor praises law enforcement. Really? These idiots had no idea what was going on. How can you praise them? Authorities say they discovered the suspected gunman in a storage unit after a manhunt. Yep. They believe he opened fire in a classroom at Brown on Saturday. And there he is. He'd enrolled in a physics graduate program in 2000-2001 at Brown before taking leave of absence, formally withdrawing. Last known address was in Miami. Became a legal permanent resident in 2017. He got a hotel room in Boston at the end of last month before renting a car and driving to Brown. He stayed in the area until Saturday shooting and then went back to Massachusetts. After killing Lorerio on Monday, he switched license plates and drove to his Salem storage unit that he rented last month. He used a phone that was hard to track and credit cards not under his name. He was sophisticated in hiding his tracks, but he's dead now. So, yeah. Is this believable? Will we even believe it's true? Who knows? He's a Colombian accent. Had a nephew who ran a fentanyl ring. Yeah, he's not Mexican. It was Colombian. Makes all the more sense, right? Rebel, that's the idea. Okay, what's rebel? Okay. Quits, run out. Oh, that's good. I didn't say anything about pausing the program. How long do you think he has to wait for South to take action? Okay, well, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe today. It's Friday. We could go a little off subject talking about airbag technology. Off subject, okay. Watch the part when the clown rattles off Spanish. I didn't see that. Didn't see that. So, and it's not showing up here anywhere. So the Kennedy Center board has moved to rename it the Trump Kennedy Center. Wow. That's fascinating. That's going to piss off the lefties. That's really going to piss them off. Well, here's some bad news. This got overlooked. Check this out. When it rains, it pours, South Africa. Here you go. Here you go. South Africa's 108-year-old mining giant relocates to Canada. Johannesburg-born 100-year-old Anglo-American, a diversified global mining company, has received Canadian regulatory approval to merge with Canada's Teck Resources, creating a $69 billion mining powerhouse and one of the largest transactions on record. Anglo-American, founded in South Africa, announced a merger with Canada's Teck. The combined entity, Anglo-Teck, will be headquartered in Vancouver with operational offices in Joburg and London. Wow. Sigi, thank you for your membership. Master and Commander, thank you for that. Wow. So Anglo-American is no longer South African, it's now Canadian. Wow. That's insane. Founded by Ernst Oppenheimer with British and American backing, Anglo-American expanded from gold in Johannesburg to diamonds, coal, iron ore, and other minerals. Over the decades, the Oppenheimer family gradually reduced the stake, including the sale of De Beers in 2011 for $5.1 billion, signaling the transition of a historically South African mining powerhouse into a globally headquartered entity. In recent years, Anglo-American has scaled back its South African operations due to rising costs, inconsistent government policies, and infrastructure challenges, including the near collapse of the electricity grid. Meanwhile, the current business climate has opened opportunities for smaller, artisanal, and local miners, particularly black South African operators, increased competition, resource, and market share within the country's mining sector. Consequently, these domestic pressures, coupled with global shifts away from coal and platinum, have reduced the company's footprint in South Africa to a fraction of its former size. Its remaining operations now include Kuma iron ore, following the unbundling of Anglo-American platinum earlier this year. Despite the downsizing, Anglo-American continues to maintain strong ties to South Africa. Well, so it's no longer South African. An iconic South African brand is gone. Wow, Sigi, that's crazy. They cancel your membership. Yeah, see that? That's crazy. Yeah, they're on a break from December 17th to January 5th. Well, Ian Smith, that corresponds almost exactly with what I predicted a month ago, almost a month ago now, that there was going to be a break because of the holidays. So there you go. She is in need of worship. Don't know why I would do that. Because it's YouTube. Here comes more job loss. What's new? More poverty, more crime, more survival. Yep. When they say local black miners, they're referring to Zamas. Yeah, mostly. That's true. They've been trying to leave South Africa since 1990. That's true, Lynn. They have. They have. That's why they unloaded De Beers. And they got a lot of money for De Beers. $5.1 billion. It's not worth that now. Oh, God bless it. My toe is itching. Okay, there you go. All right, folks. Well, that's that's interesting. So Anglo-Canadian. There you go. It's going to call it Anglo-Tech, though. All right, so I'll give you one more story here. Haitian pair busted for allegedly using their mini stores as a front for $7 million food stamp fraud. It would be a huge stretch to even call them convenience stores. 2 Haitian men have been accused of using their small Boston-based retail stores as a front for $7 million food stamp fraud. U.S. Attorney's Office in Massachusetts announced charges against 74-year-old Antonio Bonheur and 21-year-old Saul Alisme. Authorities arrested both men on Wednesday and charged them with 1 count of food stamp fraud, which carries a sentence of up to 5 years and a $250,000 fine. Court documents reveal that Bonheur is a naturalized citizen, Alisme is a Haitian citizen with lawful permanent residence. Bonheur owned Yesela Variety Store, 150 square feet retail space, and Alisme owned Saul Make Mix Store, 500 square foot location. Both establishments were located in Boston's Mattapan neighborhood. Despite the store's small footprints, they redeemed millions of dollars worth of supplemental food stamp benefits, ranging from $100,000 to $500,000 per month. According to the U.S. Attorney's Office, the redeemed funds outpaced those of a nearby full-service supermarket, which redeems approximately $82,000 a month. Bonheur was allegedly receiving his own food stamp benefits, which he used to transfer for cash at his store. That's the store. That's what they call a store. Despite 70% of the store's SNAP transactions exceeding $95, they stock very little legitimate food inventory. During undercover operations conducted both businesses over the course of investigation, SNAP benefits were allegedly trafficked for cash on 4 occasions from the one store and 2 occasions from the other. The attorney's office wrote, in each instance, the defendants themselves allegedly worked the cash register and personally exchanged food stamps for cash. Both stores were also allegedly observed selling liquor in exchange for food stamps, which is illegal. Additionally, stores allegedly sold a donated food product intended for food insecure children overseas and not authorized for retail sale. And this is their storage unit. To be certain, these were not supermarkets. They were not full-service grocers. It would be a huge stretch to even call them convenience stores. There's no plausible way food stamp-eligible food could have been purchased from these stores for this long. Yet these 2 stores are alleged to have illicitly trafficked nearly $7 million in food stamp benefits. It's shocking and glaring. Because the stores had little legitimate inventory and almost no lawful income, the defendants relied almost entirely on food stamps funded redemptions. To conceal their fraud, they used numerous bank accounts to transfer the benefits around between the accounts they controlled to create the illusion of legitimate business activity. Wow. Which of the 3 badges are preferred? I know which one to be preferred. You're Brian. Okay, if we are neighbors soon. Okay, Mark. Okay. You're going to have to get in touch with me and tell me more about that. So now the mining profits go to your Canadian colonial masters. At least it's not China. That's right. Renewing my passport. Good luck with that, Blade Wolf. Okay. Yep. I get the feeling a lot more of this type of fraud. Yeah, there's a lot of that going on. Announcement to nation, 1 p.m. Oh, what's that going to be? That could be Venezuela. Could be South Africa. Where are you getting that from? Okay. It says prime time. Where are you getting that from? I'm seeing the prime time one. Yeah, it's probably Venezuela. I doubt it's South Africa. Anyway. Yeah, so. All right, let me see how my video is doing because I didn't get a chance to promote it. Maybe my mods promote it. Let me take a look here. Well, it's doing okay without me promoting. It's got 11,000 in 2 hours. That's not bad. Wow. 128 comments. Let's see what the comments are. Lying about interaction with people must be dealt with. All I can say is thank you, Colonel, for bringing us facts. You're like an AWACS plane, seeing and hearing the info long before the mainstream media. Thank you for that. None of the apartheid government was as arrogant as the ANC. Yep. None of the car guards and pipes that were left. Speak, Colonel, speak. Okay. Fun times ahead. Yep. Ah, man. Obviously, the intelligence department of the USA will have more information on the person who uploaded the U.S. citizen's passport. So for SA to have assumed otherwise the fatal error, whomever uploaded the passport works for Home Affairs Border Management because a few hours later, the image was uploaded on Twitter. I personally am waiting popcorn in hand for the Paw sanctions to hit the fan. The Rand is about to nosedive in oblivion and soon we'll be using wheelbarrows of 1 trillion Rand notes. We are in for a very unhappy Christmas and New Year. Best to just hunker down for the helmet umbrella and avoid the shitstorm. Well done, ANC. Seems ANC's plan is to cause riots is panning out, which will enable them to bring military law. Well, the military can't control the country, so that's not going to work very well. Yeah. So someone says, good evening, Chris. I'm sure the goings on in South Africa, especially with our esteemed government, keep you very busy. As a formerly proud South African, I'm embarrassed and clearly disappointed with matters here. I still love the country, though, but thank God my family and I hold a foreign passport for peace in mind. Best wishes to you and the White Army. Oh, boy. Yep, so interesting comments. What's this? What is this? USA should be able to legally employ their Africans. I mean, come on. Are you law or against law? Okay, well. Spell check is not very good. It really irritates me. I got some spelling problems here. Okay, Marissa made from plastic. What are you talking about? They're an opera. I doubt they can do anything. Exactly. There's nothing the South African military do. Cool. Go back and look. Okay. What is Arctic telling you to go back and look at? Salvation Army for the homeless. All right. That's enough of that. That one's doing okay without my help. So maybe the mods got did a good job promoting that for me while I was doing this. Yeah. A lot of these people are idiots. They really are. Our veterans also no, we're not, Chippy. That sucks. No, we're not. Veterans weren't included. The problem with veterans is that they'd have to be 16 million. There's 16 million veterans in this country. I think that what it should have done is done it for retirees. I did. I was on Vaynet's channel, Garrett. I was on Bosparat. I'm on there. Half hour in. You have to go to a half hour. I joined him at the half hour point. We went for an hour. So, yeah. So I was on there. It's his last one for the year. I was on Chris Sten's last broadcast for the year. I've now been on Vaynet's last broadcast for the year. What is my intent? Tomorrow morning, I'll be interviewed at 10:15 my time. 11 o'clock, if things go well, I have an interview with someone from the Hudson Institute. Then we'll do 1 hour of news, and then I've got to hit the road. And it looks like Trump is going to be talking at 1 o'clock, so I may have to change my schedule again. Yep. Barbie from the White Army. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so it has been 2 hours and a half, folks. Why don't I end it here? I need to make a video now about the ANC's attack on Kali Creel and his response. Okay, all right, there you go. Wow. Okay, this is so the ANC is making it clear that that the country is unsafe. It's just political persecution here. Yep. Can predict what color shrimp trunks I'll buy next summer, but somehow spell check won't work if you're 2 letters off. You're right about that, Light Rain. Be sure to hit the like button, folks. Thanks for being here. We got 4,000 showed up tonight. That's awesome. 400 people still here at this hour. I hate to go away. You guys want me to leave, or should I stay longer? Should I stay longer? I mean, I can stay longer if you want me to. The blonde is not in my thoughts there, Arctic. She's in your thoughts, man. You're obsessed with her. Caroline has... Who is Caroline? Anton says, stay. Heard a rumor you never got pregnant, Barbie, because Ken came in a different box. Let's talk more crap. Okay. Well, if everybody starts leaving, I'm not going to stay. I mean, I stand because I got a big audience. If you're all going to stay, then I'll stay. But if you all start bailing on me, I'm going to go. Should I stay or should I? Yeah, I was thinking about a new song, Mad Max. Yeah. Sarah, very different to our name. I visited in the late 80s. Namibia. Stuck in the tunnels. Too much biltong. I like your state close to Florida fishing. Mark Feldman, my state is nowhere near Florida. I'm in Pennsylvania, nowhere near there. Go to bed, senior citizen. Oh, Chippy, smart ass. That's too funny. How many likes have we got? I haven't looked at that. What do we got for likes? 521. That's not bad for Night Owls. We stand with you. Stun some, side offer. Stun some USA. Yep. I'm here if you're here. Okay. I'd love to stay, but got to go to work. Do some work. Need to go. Okay. Have a great day. Get some sleep. Refresh for Friday. Yeah, it's going to be a crazy Friday probably. Man, this is empty. I'm out of juice here. I need some juice. Marlene Gregorio, you're welcome. You need your rest. You can stay. I'm getting 2 hours a night, and look at me, man. I am fit. I am on form. Write a song for the blonde. Would love to stay, but got stuff to do. Bet you the blonde has to sleep on her side. We want you well rested. It's been hectic lately. It has been hectic. And, we got to keep it up. I mean, got to keep it up. I know when I'm going to burn out. Trust me, guys. See, that's the thing. I remember a couple years ago, people were like, Colonel, you're going to burn out. You're going to burn out. You can't keep this pace. Guys, I mean, I'm not in my 20s anymore, but in my 20s and my 30s, I could work on 15-minute naps for 5 days and do a couple of those a day. Bolito visit. Currently self-isolated in this place overrun by GP. Oh, by Hauteng? Ling can stay a little bit longer. Okay, according to this, I've only lost one person. We will not bend the knee. No, why would you bend the knee? Gene decided to not go. Okay, Arctic. Make hay while the sun is shining. How close to 119? Are we close to 119,000 subs? We're getting closer, but it's not quite there. Let me see. Oops, that's the wrong place. Oops, I did it again. Oh, wait a second. Here we go. Just don't use Safari. Use another browser. Okay, Safari works fine on the phone. Okay, that's my interview. 10:50 p.m. Yep. Oh, got it. So that's my interview at 10:15. Okay. So, yep, I was just checking on that. So, I've infected you with very little sleep. Sorry about that, Loretta. Only 10:30. You must be in the Central Time Zone. Okay. So you're staying. Good to see that. Oh, wow. We just lost, 15 people. It was 409. Now it's 396. So 9 and 4. 13. Excuse me. Nothing to do. Okay. A lot of people want you to stay. That shows the love we have. That's Malcolm. I'm going to say thank you very much. Thank you very much. We're going to make a song, though. Let's make a song. What should we make a song about? All right. Here we go. Let's do this. All right. Okay. I need to do this in Word first. That's a smart way to do it. Okay. Give me some ideas. I have an idea what I want to do here. This is going to be about the response. So, okay. Create lyrics. for a pop song with female vocals titled No, I don't want that. Raid on Woodmead. Okay. There we go. That's going to be called the Raid on Woodmead. Not big boobs, you guys. No, we're not getting here. That's not going to happen. You guys, no, we get cheeky, but not that cheeky. Okay, we're getting there. Song on facts about the day of the battle, not garbage spewed and tell by his cupcake. That would be interesting, Nikki. But I've done a song similar to that previously. So typos, I got to fix them here. All right. Okay, I'm sure about that. True Blood Blonde. What's this? Oh, is she working on the animation? The animation probably a lot more demanding with the. Oh, that's I typed worrying and it came out working. All right. Getting there. How do you spell Bolito? Give me Bolito real quick. Somebody spell Bolito. It does matter, Daniel. Well, they wouldn't have been paid by the U.S. government, no, unless they were volunteers and they were paying for their stipend. So we don't know the answer to that. Okay, see, it takes time to be clever and come up with these. YouTube broken. Every time I join live, I have to wait 20 minutes for the subscriber deal. Yeah, I don't understand that. Look, I can fix that for now, but I'm not going to fix it long term because the trolls come in. So there's a reason we have that. And this is, YouTube's got a problem. Let me see if it even affects it. I want to test it since it's morning show, late night here, and it won't really affect things. Let me just change it real quick. So where's the, come on. Who can chat? Okay. Okay. I just changed anyone. Let's see if trolls start flying in here, okay? So anyone can chat now. So let's see what happens, okay? Okay. Did somebody spell Bolito for me? Nope. I have to search on my own. It is 2 L's. That's what I thought. Okay. All right. So now I got it. All right. Now we can make the song. Let's see what comes up. Okay. Here we go. Come on. Create. Okay. Oh, no. I got to do this first. I'm not ready. What am I getting ahead of myself here? What's this? Oh, that's Tierra. All right, let's see what we get here. Blixen, what's going on? What did the mods do? Everybody should be able to comment. Now you're telling me how to spell Bolito. My language might get bad. Oh, that's why he's joking about the mods doing it. Okay. It's saying this is quite the political drama you've laid out. It's a very sharp satirical edge that fits perfect with high energy pop production. Think a catchy driving beat paired with slightly tongue in cheek. Okay, got it. Okay. Okay, let's see what happens now. Okay. I also need to put that here. File. New. So I've got the lyrics. That's not right. It only did part of it. Okay, let's see what happens now. Okay, I've got my lyrics saved. Create. Okay, here we go. The raid on Woodmead. That's what this song's going to be. How we doing? We lost another 40 people. People have no patience. I think RSC will still be working behind the scenes. Can you finalize flights? I thought they would be, but now I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know. They should be. Okay, I was about to say the spelling of the tea lady is quiet now. I saw. Yeah, no. Yeah, she's crazy. About 3 hours. What's 3 hours? To Vale? From where? Oh, no. Yeah, we've been at this for, about 3 hours. Yeah, exactly. It's been 2 hours and 38 minutes. Yeah, you missed a lot. That happens, though. The raid on Woodmead. Here we go. You ready?
Yeah, it's the 16th of December. The sun is high, the waves are blue. While everybody's chilling in Bolito, someone's got something else to do. Down in Durban, they're soaking up the spray. It's a holiday, baby, reconciliation day. Nobody's at the office, nobody's on the clock, except for the agents heading down the block. They're swarming through the hallways, looking for a file, losing all the rhythm, losing all the style. In a Woodmead office, the air turns cold. The story's being written that's already getting old. Demanding every paper, searching for a name. Intimidation is the spirit of the game. They said, where are the Americans? We need them in a row. But then they changed the script for the midday show. It was the raid on Woodmead, under a summer sky, a holiday hustle, a convenient little lie. They said, Hakuna Matata, don't you be afraid. We only want the Kenyans. It was quite the masquerade. Oh, the raid on Woodmead. Relations take a fall, building up the tension, building up the wall. Now Ronald's got a scheme and home affairs is talking fast, trying to make a holiday work ethic really last. The public's looking sideways, the logic doesn't flow. Working on a Friday, on a holiday, no. Was the KFC closed? Was there nothing left to eat? Is that why the uniforms are out on the street? Somebody docks a diplomat, a secret's on the loose. Now Washington is tightening the diplomatic news. Eavesdrops, it wasn't me. Washington says we shall see. A stumble, a tumble, a diplomatic crack. Once you cross that line, there's no turning back. No turning back. It was the raid on Woodmead, under a summer sky, a holiday hustle, a convenient little lie. Said Hakuna Matata, don't you be afraid. We only want the Kenyans. It was quite the masquerade. Oh, the raid on Woodmead. Relations take a fall, building up the tension, building up the wall. It was the raid on Woodmead. It was the raid on Woodmead. It was the raid on Woodmead, under a summer sky. A holiday hustle, a convenient little lie. They said, Hakuna Matata, don't you be afraid. We only want the Kenyans. It was quite the masquerade. Yeah, it's the 16th of December. The sun is high, the waves are blue. While everybody's chilling in Bolito, someone's got something else to do. Down in Durban, they're soaking up the spray. It's a holiday, baby, reconciliation day. Nobody's at the office, nobody's on the clock, except for the agents heading down the block. They're swarming through the hallways, looking for a file, losing all the rhythm, losing all the style. In a Woodmead office, the air turns cold. A story's being written that's already getting old. Demanding every paper, searching for a name. Intimidation said, where are the Americans? We need them in a row. But then they changed the script for the midday show. It was the raid on Woodmead under a summer sky, a holiday hustle, a convenient little lie. They said, Hakuna Matata, don't you be afraid. We only want the Kenyans, it was quite the masquerade. Oh, the raid on Woodmead, relations take a fall, building up the tension, building up the wall. Got a scheme and home affairs is talking fast, trying to make a holiday work ethic really last. The public's looking sideways, the logic doesn't flow. Working on a Friday, on a holiday, no. Was the KFC closed? Was there nothing left to eat? Is that why the uniforms are out on the street? Somebody doxed a diplomat, his secrets on the loose. Now Washington is tightening the diplomatic news. The ancient says it wasn't me. Washington says we shall see. Stumble, a tumble, a diplomatic crack. Once you cross that line, there's no turning back. No turning back. It was the raid on Woodmead under a summer sky, a holiday hustle, a convenient little lie. They said, Hakuna Matata, don't you be afraid. We only want the Kenyans, it was quite the masquerade. Oh, the raid on Woodmead, relations take a fall, building up the tension, building up the wall. Summer sky, a holiday hustle, a convenient little lie. They said, Hakuna Matata, don't you be afraid. We only want the Kenyans, was quite the masquerade. Oh, the raid on with me, relations take a fall, building up the tension, building up the wall. Check the calendar. Reconciliation doesn't feel like it in Woodmead. Keep your papers ready, mate. Hakuna Matata. Right? Don't coot in bed.
That's pretty good. I like the second one. Yeah. So cool beans. What is somebody saying? Still nothing about people. No, that's nonsense. We've talked about it many, many times. If you don't tune in, you don't listen. RSA 40, I did talk about that. The fact you're not listening is not on me. I mean, I can't sit here 24 hours a day and repeat the same thing over and over again. Big undercover blonde, meaning I'm actually blonde, but dye my hair red. Pamela von Skalkvik, yeah. Yeah, that is an excellent tune. You like number one? I like number two. Seconds on tempo is slower and words better heard, but not as catchy as the first. You like the catchy one first one? Okay. It's your wife a few years ago. Okay. Time for the weekend. Hey, Bram, what's going on? I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you, an OG. Righty, folks. We went for a bit longer. I said we'll end it, and we went for about a half hour longer. So now I do need to end. It's been almost 3 hours, and I need to record a video, and then I've got a busy day ahead. It's Friends and Family Only Friday here on the East Coast of the United States, and much to follow. Just 6 days from Christmas now. Yep, here we go. 6 days to Christmas Day. All right, guys? All right, what do you think? Cool. All right. You guys sleep well. I'm not going to bed. I got to make a video about this ANC intimidation of Kali Krill. Excuse me. All right. Thanks, guys. Be sure to hit the like button if you haven't done already. How are we doing likes? 586. All right. That's pretty cool. Love both of them. All right. Cool. All right. You guys take care. Good night. God bless and be well. Safe. Merry Christmas. Feliz Navidad. Cheers. Bye-bye.